Look at that poor guy trying to sweep the puddle away. Good luck. Hi, everyone. Are we live?
Yes, we are, apparently.
Good.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to lovely Japan, lovely Okayama International Circuit. Oh, lovely. I'd say that that's just the standard banter, but as you can see, not lovely at all. The amount. Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexi Smith. Just put my bag down there.
Yeah.
My name is Alexi Smith. I'm here with Ryan Lantain from the United States Formula Drift Series. We are your commentators for today's proceedings. This is round 5. This is the final round of the series. We're going to be deciding who takes out the series championship today. And it is a very close run race. And I'm looking forward to the top 32. I think you know why.
Yeah. The first, I guess in 32, we're going to have, was it first and fifth in points? Fourth in points.
First and fifth in points.
Fifth in points. So Andy Gray could potentially get knocked out by
Mad Mike Whiddett.
Right in the top 32, which would have huge implications for the championship, right? Because right now, Andy Gray's leading.
Yep.
If he gets knocked out by Mad Mike has a chance to actually win the championship.
Yeah. And, Mike can he's shown yesterday that adapted quite well to the wet conditions.
Yeah, I think he got a 77 in qualifying.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mad Mike seems to be really enjoying these conditions, and especially after the announcement yesterday that he was going to go up against Andrew Gray in the, well, nothing else except perseverance is going to win this battle, is it?
This is an exercise in futility right here.
Hey, look,
it's pouring rain, and they're trying to sweep the water off the track. Maybe they'll get rid of that puddle right there. They keep sweeping.
Well, look, they might get rid of a bit of it. I mean, once the cars start going through, I guess they don't want the first car going through a rally splash. I mean, we have had 2 major accidents over the past couple of days. On Friday in practice, we had a big accident down there, and also yesterday in the wall in front of the judging stand. So it's not really the sort of thing we want to see.
No, it is not. And it's interesting also to note that during practice this morning, we actually saw some much better runs than we saw in qualifying yesterday. It just goes to show the level of stress that these drivers put on themselves during qualifying. They're not always so comfortable just because they know there's a lot of pressure. In practice this morning, the driving looked much better. So my hopes are pretty high for the competition today in the rain. And here we go. We're starting off top 32.
So here we go. Let's begin. Top 32 of round 5. Formula Drift Japan. This is first place versus 32nd place. Masashi Yokoi in the lead. Shinichiro Saito following him. Fairly close behind in the 180SX. So here they come around the first corner. Very superior angle there from Yokoi. Big straighten in the chase position. Saito just kind of falling back. Another straighten. Yokoi running very wide.
Wow.
Very deep. Wow. Great car control. That is amazing car control there. Pulling up in time.
I don't know how he did that.
I don't know how he did that either. Yokoi just can do it.
Do not know how he did that. That was
Saito taking slight advantage of that mistake there, tucking in a bit, keeping distance to Yokoi, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So let's watch this replay.
So this is the heaviest rain we've seen yet. It's teeming right now. The track is very, very wet.
Some big puddles on the track. We just saw, as we saw there before, sweeping them off. Great angle on the lead run there, Yokoi.
Yeah, he's doing a great job in the lead at this point in time.
Smooth.
He's right out to that white line. Saito straightens in the chase right there. You can tell he's struggling to keep up. He's struggling to match the angle. Yokoi overshoots big time here, and that is an amazing feat of driving right there to manage to stay away from that 45-degree wall and also still actually get out to outside zone 3 in a respectable manner. So that was really great car control right there. He knew he was going in too deep. You could see the way he overshot outside zone 2, and he was going to go probably into a dangerous area there, but somehow managed to, I don't know, adjust that arc, but still managed to get through outside zone 3. So that was very impressive.
Yeah, Yokoi, his car setup is something to be admired. Very easy for him to control. It's set up exactly the way he likes. Very interesting to watch the way his car moves. It doesn't move the same way as a lot of these other cars do. It seems to sort of pivot around the front wheels up and down rather than around the middle of the car, if that sort of makes sense.
Right, and you can see that his front track is pretty wide, but the rear track is narrower, right? You're going to have an easier transition. The car's going to want to rotate a little bit easier. It's not a very square setup, I guess you could say.
No, it's not. It's not at all. And
Yeah.
of course, a lot of these guys are adjusting their setups for these wet conditions, changing tracks,
Right.
changing tire sizes, and even wheel widths. Here we go. This is the chase run this time for Yokoi. Shinichiro Saito doing a good job in the lead, but Yokoi, wow, Yokoi. Whoa, Yokoi falling back a bit there, getting a bit too wide. He's going to need to catch up. Let's see if he can do it here. Saito also, wow, huge angle. It's an aggressive lead run from Shinichiro Saito. This is the best driving we've seen from him all weekend so far. But Yokoi already caught up. Look at that tandem drifting right there. Beautiful chase. Very nice chase run there from Yokoi. Bit of a mistake there at the beginning there. We saw him drop a wheel over the edge of the track, or I should say over the ripple strip. That's still technically in course. We should explain that. There was a bit of confusion yesterday. Some people thought that cars which were going 2 or 3 wheels over the ripple strip should have been deemed course out. That is not the case.
No, so as we watch right here, Yokoi is in good proximity. He's doing a good job, but he ends up going deeper right there than Saito does. So it kind of makes him make a mistake in that area. Saito did a pretty good job up until this point. He threw in a lot of angle and then had to take some of it out, missed outside zone 3, and it gave Yokoi the opportunity at this point to attack. And from that point on, he's mimicking perfectly throughout the rest of the course. And I think he did a pretty good job in the second half of the track right there.
Yeah.
Finished off really close. But he did make that slight error at outside zone 1. Of course, Saito in his chase made even more of a mistake in outside zone 1. Because in his chase, he actually straightened through that area. Yokoi just ended up going a little bit deep in outside zone 1 right there and lost a bit of proximity, but he gained it back without making any compromises. That's something that we talk about in the meeting a lot, is try to stay in proximity, stay mimicking the lead driver, but make the least amount of compromises or errors.
I did notice yesterday there was no compromises written on the whiteboard, and I saw Naoto Suenaga was trying to read all the English on there. He said to me, "What does no compromises mean?" So I sort of had to explain
Help
it.
him out a little
and
bit.
I explained what I meant. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So, okay, second battle now. Tasaka versus Fujinaka. So this is one of our rotary, 3 rotaries here today in the chase. 20B. Tasaka in the lead there. Nice smooth entry from him. The SR20 powered S15 Silvia. Off throttle for a long time, these guys. Nice lead. Wow, nice lead line there from Tasaka. For Fujinaka. Very aggressive. Fujinaka, huge angle. Throwing it in. He's going to be a straighten for the chase car. Fujinaka. A bit of an odd strategy there.
So the lead car did straighten out in that area first, and have to look at, did that affect the chase car? Did he think he was going to go sliding into the back of the lead car? Because the lead car...
I think that may be the case.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look and see.
Let's watch the replay. So here's the beginning of the replay. So great start so far from both these guys. But our starter there, of course, once again, not wearing any sort of rain gear.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Nice
So right on that line.
Line there.
Yeah,
So watch
really
the lead car come out to the outer zone. You can see it mark the outer zone with those 2 there, starting there and all the way to, it comes off a little bit early, but Fujinaka very deep into that.
Very deep. So right here you can see that he straightens up and actually almost stopped, not stop, but parks it in a way. He slowed down significantly right there. Fujinaka's coming in, expecting him to get through that area at speed to make it out to outside zone 3, and I think that he probably got on the brakes a little bit too hard, over-rotated the car to avoid hitting that lead car. Tasaka should have been, even though he had straightened up, he should still be trying to move out of that area to get to the next zone, but he seemed to really slow down significantly. So we'll have to see what the other judges think about that.
Yeah, it looked like he sort of overestimated his speed a little bit. Tasaka on the left there in the S15 Silvia, straightening up a bit, slowing down and then reinitiating, it seemed, while Fujinaka in the chase position was already at full angle coming into that corner. So I get the feeling that the judges, of course, I should say at this point, Ryan Lantain is a judge. He is doing double duty today. So if he does go quiet for a bit when there's a difficult decision to make, that's why. All right, here we go. Lead run there, Fujinaka. Oh, big wobbly entry there from the chase. Tasaka, very ugly entry, but it's looking beautiful for the lead car. Fujinaka, the 20B rotary. leaving Fujinaka way behind. See, that's the sort of line that Fujinaka wanted to do on the first run.
So basically in that first run, it would come down to, did the lead driver zero out or incomplete first? If that was the case, then the chase driver, the run is over at that point anyway. So that would be on the minds of the other judges and mine as well, thinking about who was at blame for that error that Fujinaka made in the first run. So looking at this run, right on initiation, Tasaka made a big error as he tried to throw the car to angle. Car actually straightened out
up again,
and then went back to angle again. So that's going to be held against him in the chase position right there. Not really doing what the lead driver's doing in that case. Fujinaka a little bit wide there on the rumble strip, but really great line. Looked pretty good. This is the commitment right here that we're looking for. This is a really dangerous area. You're throwing your car sideways at speed at that outside zone 3 wall. And that's something that Tasaka was missing in his lead because he did straighten up. It looked like he was being a little too cautious, which caused the car to straighten.
Yeah, of course, this section of the course right there that you're looking at is a downhill. The guys do need to come into that with a lot of speed, a lot of commitment to keep their speed up down the straight through that transition under the Yokohama gantry. But then when they switch back, that is the critical part. It's getting the timing right, switching back early enough to hold angle. We really saw that Tasaka did not do that. So we have one for one more time. Ryan Lantane, Fujinaka, Andy Yen. So we have a one more time battle between these two. Obviously, multiple mistakes from both these guys. So it's the what I'm talking about. Ryan Lantane going quiet for a minute. He is talking to the other judges. They're just conferring, but I agree with that result. So Fujinaka, we're seeing that the judges are saying that Fujinaka in the RX-7, he did, in that chase position, he did go in very hot. If you compare the two runs side by side, he did go in a lot faster trying to catch up and then was caught out by Tasaka. So Fujinaka then had to slam on the brakes, which resulted in him getting too much angle and almost sliding out. So that's why we had that one more time.
Yeah, they didn't zero out Tasaka for his lead straight, and they felt that it was Fujinaka's fault in the chase for making that error.
I was just explaining that he did come in very hot in that chase position.
He did,
I'm guessing that's what was held against him.
Right.
So we're going to have one more time between those two. But before we do that, here we go. Here's our next battle. Teramachi, the angle king of yesterday's qualifying, versus Iizuka in the chase position. He's got that pop, pop, bang, bang anti-lag going in that S15 Sylvia. Once again, I was saying, Teramachi, angle is one thing, but you need to keep your speed up.
And stay on the track.
And stay on the track at the same time. Teramachi, well, he's doing that. Iizuka sort of not that impressive in the chase position.
Really low angle, right?
Very low angle, considering the fact that Teramachi isn't going quite as fast as a lot of the other drivers here. Iizuka should have a fairly easy time of it in the chase position. It just looked like Iizuka wasn't that confident in trusting what Teramachi was going to do. Although Teramachi right now, his driving is not really that unusual compared to how he was driving all yesterday.
So good initiation. I like that from Teramachi.
Yeah, and just holding that angle.
Really good.
Very little steering work.
Yeah.
Right at the limit there. You can see the
Just
front wheel
touched
wobbling. He's right on the bump stops. And flicking it back here again. Nice, smooth. Yeah, the front. The lead driver here just sort of dominating this battle. Styling on Iizuka, who seems to be sort of left on the back foot. He's staying with Teramachi, obviously, but just nothing really impressive in that driving there from Iizuka in the S15 in the chase, a Helios racing car. They come back around to the start line. See there, Teramachi. Yeah, very smooth angle from this guy yesterday. Great to watch. We were talking about yesterday that what they call kaku angle, where the car is kind of you get a car which is at angle, but it's kind of wobbling left and right a little bit. Teramachi does not do that at all. Really smooth driver. Maybe a little bit slow, but it's always huge angle. Very impressive, lots of smoke. I guess you could say he's the Forrest Wang of FD Japan. oh, did I say that? Sorry. Teramachi on the left of screen, Iizuka on the right. So Iizuka really developing this car over the season. It's gone from being a fairly simple build to something very crazy. 2JZ, you see a lot of power in this car, maybe a bit too much. So off the accelerator for a long time. Okay, back on, here we go. But Teramachi giving Iizuka a bit of space there, but almost immediately catching up. Look at this. Switch back right on the bumper. Superior angle even from Teramachi in the chase. Now Teramachi letting Iizuka fall away from him a bit here. Needs to catch back up through this section without compromising on his angle. And over the finish line with Iizuka pulling away slightly.
Teramachi really fell off at the end there.
Fell off at the end there. How much is that going to be held against him? The first half of the course. Teramachi, very impressive in the chase.
You have to look lead to lead. It looked like Iizuka did a better job of filling the zones than Teramachi did in the lead. He did so maybe with less angle and less flare. So as you watch outside zone 1, Teramachi did go quite a bit off of outside zone 1, whereas Iizuka just stayed on the rumble strip. His angle wasn't as extreme, but he was more in control. Watch here as well. Gets right out to outside zone 2, which Teramachi missed in his lead. And Iizuka did a better job, maybe a similar job of outside zone 3. Now, he wasn't as flamboyant, let's say, like with his transitions, but he was more consistent in the lead position. Teramachi was a little bit more, not flailing, but he was not as in control, let's say, in the lead position. But in the chase, Teramachi really got left at the end there, didn't he?
He did. He really got pulled away from. Lead car there, S15, saying just driving the course in that lead position very cleanly. Maybe not as flashily as the chase car. But this is a battle. It's not a solo show run. You are really in a dogfight with the other driver. See there the course, state of the course there. Wet. 100% chance of rain until 3 p.m. apparently. So that's
I would believe that.
That's one of the best places to be right now, is over there on the front straight. Okay, so we do have a result here. So Teramachi on the right there. So one. We have one more time. And
Teramachi.
2 in favor of Teramachi. One more time. A split decision for the judges. So Teramachi in the orange S15 Silvia. Overall, just a bit more, how would we say it? Impressive. He was flashier. Iizuka did show some more technical driving, but it was just overshadowed by. So you can see. So just I can hear that Robbie Nishida talking, explaining what he thought. Just the overall superior angle of Teramachi. So for anyone out there who complains that angle isn't really a judged thing anymore, well, it is. Teramachi getting that win. Okay, here we have one more time. Tasaka versus Fujinaka. Whoa, right on the edge of the track there for the lead car, Tasaka. Fujinaka, once again, falling back slightly, giving Tasaka a bit of room. Now, here's where the problem was last time. Another big straight there for Tasaka. Opposite drift from Tasaka. Fujinaka doing the smart thing, giving him a bit of space this time. He'd be right not to trust Tasaka too much after that previous run. There we go, Fujinaka. And overtaking past the finish line. There you go, he knows he did that well. He played that well. Great strategy from Fujinaka in the RX-7. Let's watch this replay again. So Tasaka, lead position, his entry right on the edge of the track, dropping a wheel off the track slightly. Right there, just skimming that water puddle on the side of the track. Now Fujinaka, a little bit shallower angle here, but look, fills that outer zone, does exactly what the lead car does. Switches back right here, lead car, straighten, opposite drift, that's scary. And Fujinaka, great reaction time there from the chase car. He got on the handbrake, just stabilized his car, waited for the lead car to get into his drift, and then caught back up again, as you can see here. Really missing that outer zone there, Fujinaka, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference in the result of this battle.
Yeah, essentially the run is over once the lead driver incompletes. So an opposite drift incompletes the lead driver right there. Technically the run is over because we don't differentiate between the incompletes. So let's say he had spun there instead of opposite drifting, then we don't force the chase driver to keep drifting past the lead car in case he smashes into him or something occurs that could cause some damage or some injury to somebody. So in that sense, the run was technically over, but we let them, they do run through to the finish line. And that is a very, very tricky area. You could see in qualifying yesterday and practice yesterday, people were having a lot of trouble once they got the car at angle through inside clip 1, getting it to rotate back for outside zone 2. And you could see that Tasaka's having a bit of a problem there.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that today. So lead run for Fujinaka. Tasaka being very aggressive and going a bit too aggressive. Off the track. That's the end of the weekend for Tasaka in the S15.
Was there contact there maybe?
There may have been, very slightly. But Fujinaka going to complete his run, keep it off the wall. There you go. So Fujinaka 20B RX7 Turbo. So we're going to have to get Tasaka pulled out of that gravel trap.
And we're going to have to look at that replay and see what happened at initiation. Was there contact that caused Fujinaka to kind of have an issue at outside zone 1?
Let's watch the replay here. So car on the right of screen is in the lead. Fujinaka. Let's watch the entry here. So Fujinaka initiating first. And
oh yeah, maybe he did hit him right there.
There may have been a slight amount of contact.
We'll have to get confirmation.
And again,
from the start line when he gets back there.
Okay. There may, I don't know, there may not have been any sort of contact. I think they were a fair way apart.
Right. It was, it's hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been just that Fujinaka was going to spin anyway.
Maybe.
But, that's the thing. Tasaka taking the gamble there, throwing it in just as hard and losing it.
Maybe.
Our hard-working crew here. They've had a lot of practice this weekend pulling cars out of this gravel trap. So once again, if you're just joining us now, welcome to Japan. We are here for Formula Drift Japan Series Round 5 at Okayama International Circuit in Okayama Prefecture. We're about halfway between Hiroshima and Osaka. In the middle of nowhere, this track built out in the middle of a bunch of mountains where there's not really anything around. So we can make all the noise we want, and noise we will make later on today, especially when we see guys like Mad Mike come out. So here we go, replay once again, Fujinaka and Tasaka.
I'm going to try to confirm what happened, what exactly happened here. So Fujinaka, you can see is at angle. Hard to tell those black wheels.
So the judge is having a bit of a think about it, discussing. So we may have to have our start line confirm if there's any sort of contact with Fujinaka's car by simply looking at it. Fujinaka completing the run. And buried.
Here's, oh, is that a replay? No,
that was the
replay in the top corner there.
Yeah, they have pulled him halfway out. This is live, where they've almost got him out. Unhooking, they're digging out gravel from the front bumper. So the 2017 Formula Speedboat Championships here at Okayama. It's wet. It's going to rain all day today. So I guess you could say he didn't get he got beached in the sand trap. Boat racing out here this weekend at Okayama. So we do have a result. So left of screen Fujinaka in the RX-7. Right, Tasaka in the S15 Sylvia. 1, 2. So that's 2 in favor of Fujinaka, and all 3 judges. Minowa Fujinaka, the 20B Dorito FDRX7 will be moving on to the top 16. So after that one more time, Fujinaka gets the win. So of course, we have our next battle about to come up. Currently second place in the championship standings, Shinji Minowa, here in this Fair Lady Z. You say Fair Ladies, you say that's, you say 240s. What do you call it in America?
Well, in America, they'd say 240Z.
What's this car called in the States?
Oh, 370Z.
370Z, okay.
Yeah. In Canada, it's a 370Z.
Z, yeah. In Australia, it's a Z too.
Z, yeah. Again, that argument that...
You know, there's the old Datsun, the 240Z. If you look at that, it says 240Z, and it used. I've heard it called in Australia the 24 ounce.
24 ounce.
Oh,
yeah.
is that they call it over there too?
I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's commonly referred to as that, but I think it's a pretty easy one to make, right?
Yeah.
Pretty easy name to come up with. The old 24 ounce. Yeah, but we don't get the Fair Lady nomenclature for the.
No, I don't
Z
think.
chassis.
No, we don't.
No.
I don't think that would have. The car would have sold quite as well if it did that.
The Fair Lady.
They did actually sell the Nissan Cedric in Australia for a while, and Cedric is. Well, let's just say it's not the most masculine name in Australia by Australian standards.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So apologies to any Cedrics out there. I think you're cool.
Whoa.
Lead car, Shinji Minowa, big mistake.
Whoa.
Nian spinning out. No.
This weather we knew was going to cause a little bit of drama.
I forgot to mention Nian is actually 5th in the championship right now.
Oh, he is.
So unfortunately, that's probably Nian out of possible podium in the championship. I mean, I can't say I'm that surprised.
It's going to take a whole lot of replay watching here to see what caused that. We know we saw some bobbles from Minowa in the lead position on initiation.
Yeah, Minowa.
Was that enough to cause Nian to have nowhere to go, to get caught up in that in Minowa's error, his initiation? So you can see he gets the angle, drops the tire, straightens out, and then Nian is kind of right there on the inside. This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I think one of the tricks of watching the replay from that angle is you don't get a sense of the speed of the cars.
Yeah, or the depth either of where the other car is in respect
how far
to
back they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Nian was a fairway. If you look at that replay, he was a fairway to the center of screen, and he was also a fair bit higher on the screen than Shinji's car, which would you'd assume means that he's a fairway back. Here we go. Here's a good replay.
Yeah.
Oh, there was contact.
There was, yeah.
So Nian did actually come into contact with Shinji Minowa's door. So that angle there makes it a bit clearer.
Yeah, that definitely brings to light what really happened. It looks like Minowa really had an error on initiation. He slowed down significantly, and in that case, Nian really had nowhere to go.
So we'll see what the judges have to say about that. Contact, here we go once again.
So we're trying to assess fault, the three judges here, trying to see who's at fault for that. Because there was collision, typically we have to assess fault. If any repairs need to be done, then that will tell the people in the tech area who has the right to repair their car, who has to call a 5-minute.
Right.
The blame game that we have to play is fairly important. So that's why we take the time to really assess who is at fault and what action caused the error or the mistake from either driver.
And one thing I'm sort of looking at here is Nian took a very, very middle line there, down the middle of the track.
Well, we give the right of way to the lead driver on initiation. We made that very clear last night in the drivers' meeting that the lead driver has the right of way to position their car wherever they need to on initiation, and the chase car has to give them room. So in that sense, Nian was, I guess, giving him the ability to move his car around in the lead position. Some people like to do a little bit of a feint. They like to get mid-track or further before they initiate, so you kind of have to play it by ear in the chase position, because even though a driver typically does an initiation in a certain way, you can't say for sure that he's going to do it on that particular run.
So once again, Ryan Lantane pulling off the headphones to have a bit of a talk. He's doing double duty this weekend.
So right now we have our blame assessed.
Can we call it something else?
Yeah, fault.
Fault.
Fault has been assessed to Shinji via a vote of I said Shinji was at fault.
Okay.
Andy said Shinji was at fault, and Robbie said they were both kind of to blame in that situation. So we have Nian out of the gravel trap, and he's heading back to the start line now, splashing through the water.
Splashy, splish, splash. Through that standing water. So there you go. Yeah, not a clean entry by any means of the lead car. Nian was a fair way back. What does that sound? Oh, the motorbike goes. Nian was a fair way back on that entry, but really caught up to Shinji very quickly all of a sudden. Which makes it fairly obvious that Shinji wasn't accelerating when he should have been. I was just saying it seemed that like Nian was a fair way back on the coming down the straight, but then he dove in a lot faster than you'd sort of expect, meaning that not only was he was actually diving in, Shinji was slowing down more than he should have been.
Well, I personally didn't see it that way. I thought that Nian did a good job in the chase position, considering the conditions and everything else of getting his car where he should be, and expecting that lead car to be getting back on throttle at, eventually there. We know that in the weather that we have right now, people are going to let their cars carry out a little bit before they get back on throttle, but you can't give, as the chase car, the lead car room. We even said that in the meeting yesterday, because we've had situations of that in all the series that we judge, where the chase driver thinks, oh, I'm going to hang back a bit, I'll give the lead driver room, I'll catch up. They never catch up. You can't now with the amount of power that these cars have. Yeah. It's very difficult to make up ground, so you have to be close on initiation, and we pointed that out yesterday. Get close on initiation, and you'll have a good chance throughout the run. Nian was trying to stay close, and Shinji made some clear errors there, so Nian had nowhere to go. My 2 cents.
Once again, not a great entry in the chase position there, Minowa. Actually, this makes it fairly obvious what happened in the previous run.
There we go.
Whoa! And a spin.
Yeah, Nian was going too deep, and then had to get on throttle to carry himself through that zone, and got on throttle too much. You could tell that he was way wide. It looked like he was going to go off. He somehow managed to stay on the track.
Yeah.
He hit the first outside zone marker, but because he had slowed down so much, he hadn't looked like he really had to get on throttle aggressively, and it just spun him out on that slippery rumble strip. So that essentially is an error and an incomplete from Nian on his lead. So
Nian with the opportunity there to take out second place in the championship, Shinji Minowa. Now let's look at this. So Minowa a fair way back at angle, on course to get a fairly good line there. Yeah. Could that potentially mean that Nian would have gone off anyway if he'd have if he'd have in the chase position?
Well, you can't really make those assumptions.
I know.
Right? He's doing his best behind the lead car, trying to mimic his speed, his initiation point, and all of those things. I mean, you could make the assumption maybe, but we just have to go off of what we see, what occurs at that point. So Nian, did that to himself in the lead, pushed a little bit too hard, but the limits are hard to find in this weather. It's either you're not enough or you're too much. Sometimes it's a knife's edge, right? You've got to be right in the sweet spot, and it's really difficult to do that. So since Robbie said that it was both of their faults on the initiation, he didn't incomplete either of them. Myself and Andy, we're having a one more time? Yeah, we both incompleted Minowa for the lead error that caused Nian to spin out. Okay. And then we both incompleted Nian on his lead for his error that he just did there as well. So that 2 incompletes in the lead equal them one more time.
So we're going to have a one more time between Shinji Minowa and Sheng Nian from that run. Well, hopefully now they'll have a bit of a bead on each other, and we'll have some closer drifting battle to come in that one more time.
So now we have Fukada and Yamashita.
The next battle about to come up. Currently third in the championship on the left of screen there in the Work Weld JZX100 Mark II. This is a JZX100 Mark II battle. And on the right of screen, Fukada, his best result of the year so far in qualifying yesterday. Going straight up against third place for now. So this is Fukada's last chance
at glory
for the year. He's had a fairly average season. He's just sort of always been there, but never really up the top end.
And on another note, we really need to give a lot of props to these track worker guys. You see them out there in the pouring rain, sweeping the track, and running off the track. They're not, they're really trying hard right now, and I think they deserve our level of respect. Because I don't want to be out there doing that right now, but they're out there doing a great job. Phenomenal. And so is he. I mean, look how wet he is just standing out there in the rain with no umbrella, no rain jacket.
Someone get him a poncho.
He just likes to be out there suffering in the rain for some reason.
All right, here we go. Fukada versus Yamashita. So both these guys very used to these cars, which is very important in wet conditions. Wow, great entry from the lead car, Fukada. Smooth angle to that outer zone. This is an almost perfect run so far for these two. Great rain battle here. Switching back, outer zone once again. Yamashita falling short, spinning out, opposite spin.
Look at that. It was going so well until
it was going so well. Yeah. And then at that exact spot, right there, under the Yokohama gantry, Fukada. Perfect line, perfect angle from him. Yamashita kind of lost his momentum there a bit, and it all just fell apart after that.
That is a dangerous area right there at inside clip 1.
We've seen it multiple times. People making mistakes right there in the transition, especially in this wet conditions. Remember, it is a downhill. The guys are on power, trying to, they've just upshifted. They're flat out in third gear. They have to transition back and position their car in the right place, so they're not going to get around that hairpin without hitting the wall. So very difficult.
Look at Fukada here. Fills the zone really well. Yamashita is imitating him so well in the chase. Watch this transition. Perfect timing on the transition. Fukada does a great job. Yamashita does not. Slows down significantly, tries to get back on throttle, hits that rumble strip.
I hope we can watch that replay again, because it was really, really obvious between the two cars there. Yamashita in the chase position. On his transition, a slight, like he just stumbled for a split second, which just threw off the timing, and he wasn't able to recover from that. So Yamashita, that's still the replay. He has cleared the track. I really want to watch a replay of that, because it was almost a perfect mirror run up until the point Yamashita made the mistake, which really illustrates how people have been making mistakes on that transition, the inner clip under the gantry.
So somebody yesterday was asking, is it because the pavement's different or something? That's not the case. They completely repaved this entire track recently, so it's brand new pavement from start to finish all the way around, except in that little area where outside zone 3 is. So that little connector road right there that we use, that is the old pavement. So you can see there's a line there that cuts from the new to the old, but on the actual surface of the racetrack itself, all brand new, all even, and there's no change or anything in there.
Even with some extra drainage that's been installed to keep standing puddles off the track.
Yeah. So you have to get into it's a driver. It's an issue where they're concerned about that transition, and Yamashita is one that did it yesterday, right after Iha hit the wall here outside zone 2. Yamashita was the very next car and did the exact same error where the car wouldn't rotate back at outside zone 2, and he ended up going on the grass, which we all thought was going to be the same kind of collision as Iha had, right? But he managed to save it. So you have to wonder, is that on his mind as he comes through there? That's that feeling of, my car might not rotate back in this area right here. So it takes a lot of commitment. So you have to give it to the drivers that are really pushing their cars through there and trusting them to rotate when a lot of people don't think they're going to. So that's going to really differentiate a lot of drivers here.
Yeah, so the car there of Yamashita on the right of screen there seems to be slightly more balanced towards peakier, high-level grip than the chase car Fukada. Fukada seems... Okay, so we have a false start there. We're going to have to
we have a red flag.
Fukada, so just going past the red flag.
Yeah, that's perfect. So he sees that
Yamashita will turn around. Should...
there we go. He's turning himself around, maybe? No? Yeah, turn. There you go.
U-banger here. Here we go.
All right. So either somebody jumped the line, being the lead car, or a cone was hit by the lead car. I'm not sure which one it was. I did not see a cone get hit, so perhaps it was either a jump start or
probably a jump start. Of course, we do have rules here in Formula Drift, same as in the United States series, is the start with the chicane and the starting light. Of course, the chase car.
So Yamashita did jump the light. That is official. That's what happened.
So the lead car there on the right, the lead car is the one that has to go through the chicane. The reason we do that is to prevent any kind of drag racing being done on the start line. The chase car is allowed to jump the start and drives in a straight line, whereas the lead car has to go through a chicane and has to follow the light being extinguished. You can see it just there. So he just gave it a bit of time there. Okay, here we go. Second battle now. Yamashita, that spin on the first run. Fukada in the chase. Both of them hard on the brakes. Very deep in. Yamashita! Big straight from him there in the lead position, slowing down, giving Fukada a really good chance to catch up.
Yeah,
okay, and that is going to be a non-run for the lead car, Yamashita, driving around the rest of the course. So a fairly obvious result here. That's an unfortunate result here for Fukada. Currently, unfortunate result for Yamashita, currently third in the championship, getting knocked out in the top 32.
I really like the way that Fukada did not hold back on initiation despite seeing what was going on in front of him.
Yeah.
He was kind of still closing in on Yamashita, even though Yamashita was making those errors. Showed a lot of commitment from Fukada in the chase. Looked pretty good.
The entry, so yeah, coming off that the outer line very quickly there. Whoa, that would be scary to be chasing in these wet conditions. Once again, Fukada throwing it very hard there on the transition. Just trying to slow his car down for a second. That's a very high level technique, trying to slow your car down with angle in the rain. That's very difficult to do compared to the dry. So we have a result here. So Fukada on the right of screen, the darker blue Jager X100. Privateer entry. This guy doesn't have all that many sponsors, but he's made every round so far. Gets the win and will move on to the top 16. So if you're just joining us now, I'd like to say once again, welcome to Okayama International Swimming Pool. We are here in the 500-meter backstroke finals right now. Or should I say, we're in the top 32 battles of round 5. Now this next battle, this is interesting. Two former D1 Grand Prix champions, Kumabuko there in the 2JZ Altezza versus Katsuhiro Ueo, coming up into view right now. VR38, that's the GTR engine, powered S15 Silvia. So two former champions, not of Formula Drift, but also two very old school drivers. These two are from the original days of drifting, of competition drifting in Japan.
Look at the amount of ground clearance under that S15.
You could.
It looks like it's made for all the water that's on the track today.
Well, yeah. I mean, even if he goes off the track, he's going to be fine.
Yeah,
He can just keep drifting.
Yeah, just keep driving. Yeah, at least we won't see him getting stuck in the gravel trap with that thing.
All right, here we go. Kumabuko in the lead. Katsuhiro Ueo following. Look at the power of these guys. Almost zero grip, it seems.
Look at that.
Look at the chase from Ueo. Wow, the angle. Ueo just puts on that angle there, tucks it in behind Kumabuko. Transition, great transition from both these guys. Out of zone, Kumabuko all the way to the wall, but Ueo right there with him through the water splash feature and up over the finish line. Getting a round of applause from Andy Yen up here at the judging stand.
So Kumabuko did not do a bad job in the lead, but Ueo did a great job in the chase, especially in outside zone 1. That was impressive. Like you said, very low grip at the moment, a lot of water on the track. These guys just don't seem to notice or care.
No, someone forgot to tell them it's raining.
Yeah, they're just going flat out right now.
Their spotters had to say, you might want to turn your windscreen wipers on.
Yep.
Look at right here. Look at Ueo right here. Look at that. About to hit, up, bit more angle. Beautiful.
No hesitation at all. Full
yeah.
confidence that Kumabuko is going to be doing what he's supposed to do in the lead. Kumabuko was off on outside zone 2 here by a little bit. You could see that Ueo was actually closer to outside zone 2 than Kumabuko was, but I think that was probably Kumabuko's either you could call it his most major error or oversight throughout the track. Other than that, did a great job in the lead, but Ueo really, really showed a lot of confidence in his own driving ability and in the fact that he knew Kumabuko was going to be doing what he was supposed to in the lead.
See, that's one of the advantages of going up against a guy like Kumabuko, one of the higher, more experienced drivers. You know sort of what they're going to do.
Yeah.
All of these guys do have their own distinct styles. And if you are aware of that, especially if you like these guys, they've driven up against each other many times in the past. They've seen how each other drives. But this new build for Ueo, this VR38 power, those are 20-inch wheels front and back.
So Ueo right now has an opportunity. He needs to do better in the lead than Kumabuko to win the lead. So he's got outside zone 1 was pretty good by Kumabuko, but he's got to go deeper in 2 and 3.
Wow, look at that flick there in these wet conditions. Ueo, nice angle from both these guys. Oh, wow, out of zone. Perfect. Transitioning back under the gantry. Watch this out of zone 2. Great out of zone from the lead car. Kumabuko a bit shallow. Kumabuko doing his best to try and catch up with Ueo, keep him door to door. Transition back in a clip right there. Once again, better clip there from Ueo. I think Ueo just absolutely dominant in that lead run.
Yes, he was.
Not only was that a great lead run as far as getting chased is concerned, out of zone 1 in a clip, out of zone 2. Better than Kumabuko, I have to say.
Yes, I would agree with you there.
So look at that initiation
Yeah.
in these wet conditions. That's amazing car control there.
So Kumabuko had a couple of bobbles right there just after initiation. He's within proximity, but as you can see, he was not as close as Ueo was to him when he was leading. Right there, he falls off a little bit. His angle's fairly low, and then he doesn't go as deep in outside zone 2 as Ueo did. I think Ueo did a better job in outside zone 3 as well. Yeah. Just a cleaner lead, even though Kumabuko's wasn't bad. Ueo just stepped it up that little bit. This is where a great spotter can come in handy, where the spotter can tell you, you have an advantage, or an opportunity to gain advantage here, here, here. Do this a little bit more aggressively.
Right.
And it can really give you the key to winning, if you will. Because it's hard to tell when you're in the car what really happened, but somebody outside giving you a fair assessment of what occurred, it can really tell you what to do, what to improve upon, and where to push a little bit harder.
And that seems to be what Ueo has done.
Yes.
Especially on that outer zone 2, just in front of the judging stand. So we have a result here. Get the feeling it's going to... And... Oh, wow! And a three-way split decision. Ueo and Kumabuko. One judge for Kumabuko, one for Ueo, and one more time.
This is... I did not expect that.
I did not expect that either.
I did not expect that at all.
Well, we saw which way your choice went.
So because I'm over here doing the announcing, it's hard for me right now to talk to those guys and get their feeling on it.
You go and talk to them when you need to. I can hold the fort here and talk about stuff if you need to, by all means. To give us some, if you need, we can get some more information. Anyway, let's move on. So that's gonna be one more time. So this is our second one more. This is our first one more time between Minowa and Nian. So Minowa leading this run.
Oh, Nian.
Nian, huge mistake on the entry once again.
Miscalculated there.
So if you look at it from here onwards, it's actually quite good. Nian also running very wide. Minowa transitioning back here, filling the outer zone very well. Third outer zone there. Nian doing a good job imitating, but just a fair way back. Whoa, Minowa washing a little bit wide there.
Yep. That puddle can catch you off guard.
Yeah, that puddle there, just that on that apex of that corner.
So Minowa did a pretty good job in the lead. We saw some errors from Nian. I think most importantly right on initiation, which is what set him back for the rest of the run. So watch Nian goes to initiate, ends up going the opposite way.
Yeah.
It's like he expected the car to flick and it didn't. But watch Minowa right here, tire right on the line. Can't ask for any better than that for outside zone 1. That was perfect. Nian has fallen back by this point. Minowa is not trying to get away. He's filling the zones.
Yep.
He got right out to the white line on outside zone 2. He was wide enough on 3 that it made sense. Got a little bit, well, not too bad, a little bit of a wobble there, and maybe rode a little bit wide, but he ended up making it work through inside clip 2. And yeah, really good lead from Minowa.
Yeah,
did everything he needed to do.
That chase there too, just even though Minowa did make that mistake at the bottom part of the course, if you looked a bit further up the screen, Nian also making a fairly big mistake there too.
Right.
So this is probably going to be an advantage so far to Shinji Minowa. Currently second in the championship. He has a good chance of winning.
He needs to keep doing that run if he makes it to the next level of competition, right? If he makes it up to 16, that run, pretty high level run. getting his outside rear tire right on the white line on outside zone 1, came out wide to 2, did a good job on 3. Needs to clean it up a little bit as he transitions from the old pavement to the new pavement there where there's a little bit of standing water. But other than that, that was a great lead run.
It was very good.
Yeah, very precise.
Overall from Shinji Minowa there on the left of screen in the Fair Lady.
This is what we like to see when there's a one more time. Everybody cleaning up their act. You know, when there were mistakes made in the first one, it's like, okay, guys, here's your second chance. And when you see them actually making those improvements, what is going on here?
So this should be Nian in the lead position.
I don't know what happened there. So it looked like Shinji got ahead of Nian, and they both just kind of stopped because I don't know what happened there. That was kind of odd.
We don't have a red flag, so that wasn't a jump start or anything like that. We could see on the screen there that Shinji Minowa was pacing Nian for the entire straight, but Nian didn't pull ahead at any point. So of course Nian should be given right of way. Minowa should back off at some point to allow Nian. Nian should technically be able to swing from one side of the track to the other if he so wishes as the lead car. The chase car does have to give the lead car the opportunity to use the entire track.
So it sounds like, from what some of the track staff are telling us, it looked like Nian wasn't fully accelerating.
Yeah.
So we don't know if there was a miscommunication. Maybe Nian thought there was a flag that had been thrown. I'm not sure. So right now we're just trying to check with the start line staff to see what occurred right off the start line.
Right.
If there was some kind of issue that happened, but
do you think Nian forgot he was supposed to be going in the lead?
I don't know quite what happened there because Shinji didn't look like he was accelerating hard, but he still was ahead of Nian.
He was just pacing Nian, waiting to see what was going to happen. And then once they got to the initiation point, you sort of see Shinji kind of weaved a little bit. So it looks like we're going to be sending them back to the start line, trying to figure out what happened there.
So I believe we're going to get them back to the start line to do that one again. There was clearly a miscommunication, as I said earlier.
Right.
Not really sure what occurred, but we know that Kevin Wells is down there, and he said that we're just going to restart it.
Okay, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So we have our super wet start line guy standing there. That shirt is not waterproof. I'm wearing the same one.
Yeah,
I know
I am
that
too.
it is
Yeah.
definitely soaked right now and must be very uncomfortable.
He must be Aquaman.
Yeah, look at his legs. The pants are wet all the way up to his knees. All right, attempt number 2.
Okay, let's try this again. Remember, the lead car is on the right of screen going through the chicane there. So accelerating down the straight. Nian is in the lead. Minowa tucking in behind Nian. Okay, here we go. We have a start.
No.
Nian spin. Hopefully we don't have any kind of collision there. So Nian off. Whoa! Dangerous, dangerous action here at Okayama. So that is a spin there for Sheng Nian on this one more time. So once again, the sort of coin flip results of Sheng Nian, once again, either awesome or not at all. Unfortunately, coming up tails this time for Nian.
So we'll go with the replay again. You're going to see Nian didn't look like he was really on throttle down the straightaway. Shinji, it almost looked like he had to back off a little bit. Nian then over-rotates, goes 4 wheels off, and then hopefully didn't drag too many rocks back on the track with him, but came back on the track pretty quickly. And here we go. Robbie says Minowa.
1, 2, and 3 in favor of Shinji Minowa, going through to the top 16.
So up next we will have, who do we have up next? That was Minowa and Nian.
Next to Takahashi and the Jager
Very good.
in this battle. Wow, two very bright cars in these overcast conditions.
We've got some complaints over here about the cold, damp weather.
From who?
Well, I heard Andy complaining over here. It is cold. It's not a very nice day today. So here we go, the start.
Okay, next battle now. Chris Jager versus Kuniaki Takahashi. Takahashi in the lead.
Oh, boy.
And Chris Jager, huge spin from him in the chase.
That was an intense spin.
That was quite odd.
Yeah, but Takahashi does need to complete the course, being in the lead and unhindered by that error in the chase. So we have to keep an eye on him and make sure that he completes the track. The Jager's scaring us again, going near that wall.
Whoa.
Got a little wonky there. Takahashi looks like he's going to have a full pull. Gets by inside clip 2 and across the finish line. So he definitely will have an advantage going into the next run after that spin from the Jager.
So a fairly easy result here for the lead car, Kuniaki Takahashi. Let's watch this run again. So left of screen, Chris Jager from Melbourne, Australia. Wow, just turning in.
Wow, it was like a very violent spin.
It was. The back end didn't seem to come around as fast as he maybe had hoped. I do know that yesterday, between Chris Jager's qualifying runs, he did actually disconnect the rear sway bar to soften up the rear end. That may have been a cause of that spin just there. The back end didn't. You could see he steered into the corner aggressively, but the back end just, there was a hesitation and it came around too much, too late, resulting in that spin.
Korewa broken. Oh, there we go. Got some weird stuff up on my pad here.
Have we tried turning it off and on again?
Got some giggles from the guy that controls these things. I don't know. I don't think I touched it. I don't know what I did to make that come up.
You're not supposed to touch the scoring thing. You're a judge. You don't touch that.
Don't touch that thing. Leave it alone.
So second run now. So not looking too good for Chris Jager in the lead position. After that spin, so we do have our track workers on the track, just giving the track inline a quick sweep there.
Yeah, he did get his front wheels into the grass, I think, right?
Yeah.
Probably spun.
That's right. Chris did bring a fair bit of garbage onto the track with that spin. So we do have to clear that off. Okayama very strict on debris on the track. They, the management here insists on cleaning it off. Which, to be honest, is fair enough.
Yeah, they're proud of their venue.
They are. It is a lovely venue, this.
It is.
It was built back in the early 90s.
Hosted Formula One.
2 times?
2 times.
2 times. 1993 and 4, I think it was.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, Schumacher holds the lap record here. I believe it is. So that explains the...
that was before his Ferrari days, right?
That was before his... Yeah, it was in a different...
Was that Benetton back then? Or?
Was that the white car that he was in?
Potentially. I'll have to get out the get on the internet and see what you can see.
Internet answers all. Of course,
Yes,
that explains the lovely facilities here at Okayama, the salon.
Yes.
The restaurant here is unbelievable. It's like a nightclub, and it actually does turn into a nightclub at night.
It is a very clean venue. Even though Formula One hasn't been here for a while, you can tell it was built to a high standard back when it was built.
Yes.
Safety side of things very high as well. Just the quality overall of the facility is pretty great. We always love coming here. They treat us really well, and they've confirmed that they will have us back next year.
The staff here are amazing, aren't they? They're so friendly, very helpful, and seem to be very proud of the track.
Yes.
It was built in, let's see, so it held Schumacher in the Benetton in 1994, holds the lap record of 1 minute 14. It was opened in 1990 as a private racetrack for the wealthy. I read that yesterday.
That is interesting.
Soon it hosted its first race staged by veteran British drivers. I do know that it used to be called TI Circuit.
Yes.
And it was Back then it was when it was TOS Circuit. It was essentially built, I guess you could imagine, as like imagine a golf country club as a racetrack.
Right. Yeah, we saw a bunch of signage yesterday of TI, and we just assumed that was the original name. And
Yep.
sounds like we were right.
That was what it was called.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Second run now. The Jager in the lead position. Big disadvantage after that spin on the first corner. So Takahashi right there with him.
Doesn't
So,
quite have the same verve on initiation as Takahashi did in the lead.
that's right. So Chris taking it a bit more slowly on this run, but really has nothing to lose here. This is a really good lead run from Chris the Jager, but unfortunately for him, Takahashi right there with him, just pacing him the entire track, not getting too aggressive,
No.
but just holding him there, holding him at arm's length.
Yeah, Takahashi, despite the lead run being slower than what he's accustomed to driving this track at, did a great job in the chase position of maintaining the proximity that we would consider better definitely than the good enough proximity. It was good proximity, but you could tell that he was mimicking him really well throughout the track as well. He's very much able to adapt to what the lead driver's doing. You know, some drivers, they have their lead and they try to do that in the chase too, which doesn't always work. But
often does not work at all.
Exactly, but he's very much able to adapt to what the lead drivers, you know, their speed, their angle, their transition points, everything. He's very, very good at reading what the lead car is doing and putting together a great chase run.
On some of the parts too, just reading the lead, as you said, Ryan, leading the lead runs there and just adding a little bit extra to it. Like on the first outer zone, it was a few, you know, a couple of 30 centimeters or so, a couple of feet further into the zone than Chris was. Same thing on the last corner there, you know, a couple of feet further inwards than Chris was. But there's still amazing lead run from Chris the Jager. He should be proud of that. Unfortunately, as he saw their result, Chris getting knocked out and Takahashi moving on to the top 16.
One more time up now.
All right, here we go. Second battle. You're getting your money's worth here today. Two big names in drifting history. Ueo versus Kumabuko.
Kumabuko, Bear Valley?
Bear Gully.
Bear Gully.
Bear Gully.
So close.
I don't know what Ueo means. I have to look that up. Okay, lead run. Wow, okay. Off throttle. Get on throttle. Here we go.
Oof.
And
it's so close.
they are
Look
so
at that.
close together. Ueo just tagging that witch's hat. Both of them on limit are coming down the straight. Ueo slamming on the brakes. Huge tyres on this car, using that grip to his advantage. Seems to have a bit of a grip advantage in these wet conditions. A little bit wobbly there from Ueo on the chase, coming over the finish line.
Yeah, from outside zone 3 to the finish, you could tell Ueo was off the beat, you know, off the tempo. His transition was off, his timing. He wasn't mimicking as well as he has been throughout the
That was
previous
similar
runs.
to the first run we saw as well in the first battle. Ueo falling off in the second half. So Ueo initiating before Kumabuko there, getting in parallel to Kumabuko. You go,
A little bit deeper
bam,
right there, right
bit
over the
deeper
inside, the outside marker clip.
Yep.
Outside marker cone. There we go. Kumabuko, his angle's very low coming by inside clip 2, or inside clip 1, sorry. Not ideal. It kind of gives you the impression that he's trying to get away in that area. He's trying to be fast. Looking for more of the rotation through that area, a bigger transition. But I think that what he's doing is a lot safer, because as we know, that inside clip 1 right there is that's kind of that danger zone where people are worried their cars are going to transition. So if he doesn't go to big angle, it's easy to get it to rotate back to the other side. But it does make him miss outside zone 2, which he did on the first run as well when he was leading.
Outside zone 2 being the one right in front of the judging stand after the transition under the Yokohama gantry. So Kumabuko taking the safe option in the lead run. But still overall clean run. It made Ueo's mistakes a lot more obvious. So here they are at the start line. So this time Ueo will be in the lead. Kumabuko following through the chicane. Down the straight. VR38 versus 2JZ. Nice initiation from both these guys. Better angle on the lead car, Ueo, so far. Look at that. Look how much lock he's got wound on there. Filling that outer zone. Kumabuko a little bit shallow there. Bit of a hesitation on the transition too. This is Kumabuko's last chance to take this battle. And he tucks right in. Wow, that's the closest we've seen so far through that outer zone. But Ueo, superior angle. Ueo just out there in front, styling on Kumabuko in the chase.
Kumabuko did a good job in the chase this time.
He did.
A little more aggressive than he was on the first one.
That was the closest we've seen on the second half of the track so far in a chase position. So here we go. Let's watch the replay. Once again, Ueo in the lead. Oh, that initiation. That just looks good, that initiation right there. Ueo, big angle, huge lock. Those enormously oversized tires make it a lot more obvious. Bit of a hesitation on the transition from both these guys, actually.
Yeah. Kumabuko is. He seems to have better proximity throughout more of the track. He had a little bit less angle through that area right there, but overall, look at his timing. Yeah. Look at the way he's mimicking the lead driver. His transitions were really well timed. He was in the right position. Like you said, they both had a bit of a hiccup there at inside clip 2, or inside clip 1, sorry.
Yes, a bit of a mistake there on the inside clip 1. Kumabuko as well. That is Team Orange's motto is Suiso Joto, or high-level tandem drift.
Okay.
And there you have it. Yamashita Kumabuko gets the win. Don't be fooled by the huge angle of Katsuhiro Ueo. There's more to drifting, and especially a dogfight tandem battle than that. Just that, Kumabuko overall getting the win there and moving on to the top 16. Yeah, I mean, that second half of the run is where we normally see the tandem runs slightly start to fall apart. But Kumabuko was right there with him through that outer zone 2, the hairpin, and through the rest of the course. We haven't seen anyone do a chase run that close yet, even in practice, even in the battle so far here today. And we're already halfway through the top 32.
I'm excited for this battle. They both were driving really well in practice this morning in this heavy rain, which oddly enough seems to have slowed down a little bit. If you look down at the track, it's not raining as hard as it was earlier.
It has.
It's still very wet, don't get me wrong, but it's just not coming down as aggressively. Yeah, Miyamoto was doing amazing this morning in practice.
Okay, so Miyamoto in the lead. This is actually a girl driving this car, and she kicks ass every time she goes out there. Miyamoto in the lead position, Yanagida just out of high school too, so not your typical image of a drift driver. Both these drivers, for both of them, absolutely murdering this track right now. Yanagida a little bit shallow there. Lead run from Miyamoto, amazing run so far. Slowing down a bit there. Yanagida is going to tuck in, he's going to try and tuck in. No, he doesn't. Miyamoto keeps her speed up over the finish line.
So you can see she was protecting some of her rotations there. She wasn't really letting, especially at the last rotation before inside clip 2, she wasn't really snappy with her transitions, right? She was controlling them a little bit more than what we've seen other drivers do, and actually more than what I've seen her do in her practice runs. Even on initiation, you can tell she's letting the car get to angle a little more gingerly than what I saw in practice. She's being a little bit more safe right now. She did a good job here of getting out to outside zone 1, although she did get out there a little bit late. You can see her transition there was actually not too bad. Yanagida in the chase there was, it's almost like he was nose to tail as opposed to trying to be next to her.
To it,
And then watch her transition here. It's very kind of protected, as I was saying earlier. It's not a full rotation to angle. It's almost like a stepped rotation. What was the word again?
Kaku-kaku.
Kaku-kaku. Not an aggressive
choppy,
kaku-kaku.
like a choppy,
yeah. It was smooth choppy though. It wasn't it wasn't as aggressive as you see some drivers where it almost looks like it's bobbling to angle. Hers was just a little bit more controlled than we'd like to see maybe. But still a good lead run from her. And Yanagida was trying hard. He was aggressive, which you like to see in the chase. He could have been a little bit more precise, though, in his chase.
He could have, especially with how smooth the lead run was there from Miyamoto. Every opportunity for Yanagida to keep up with her.
Yep. Now it's her turn to try to keep up to him.
So straight out of high school in the bright green car, and the female driver in the chase position. All right, so Yanagida, great lead run so far from him. Miyamoto not really getting a whole lot of angle early on. That's going to be held against her. Great in clip of Yanagida. Yanagida, outer zone in clip. Watch this outer zone right here. Not bad from both of them. Oh, this is going to be a hard one to judge. Miyamoto falling a little bit wide, going a little bit wide there, falling back. Oh, I don't know who's the underdog in this battle.
I'm not sure.
They both are.
Probably her because it's her first time in Formula D.
It is Miyamoto's first time in Formula D. Of course, it's not her first rodeo. She has been drifting for a long time. She's been in quite a few competitions before, but nothing of this level.
So watch her initiation. First of all, it's late. Second of all, it's very, very, very slow to angle.
Yeah.
She took a long time to get the car rotated to angle there. That would give her a bit of an advantage as he's already at angle. He did a great job in the lead there, going out to outside zone 1.
In clip, right there.
Yeah.
Out
and
clip.
then she gets to the outside zone. She did a good job through that area. She lost some angle right there. You can tell that her car was not, she doesn't seem as comfortable right now as she did earlier today, which is unfortunate. She was laying down some amazing runs in practice. But sometimes the whole competition pressures, I guess, they get to people in different ways. So
it gets to you.
It does.
Especially if you're at a track like this. Of course, Okayama, not your typical drift track day circuit. It's an international level track, so all these guys pretty much on the same level. So Yanagida in the bright green S13. 1, 2, 3. Great fight from Michie Miyamoto on her debut in Formula Drift Japan. But Kanta Yanagida, also a lot of good history from him in the series. Some amazing battles from him. Despite the fact his car is, it's SR20, it's a red top SR20, S13, very traditional build, low power, low budget, young guy, not a whole lot of experience. Good to see him get through to the top 16.
And with Miyamoto, sometimes it's not just because it's, she's not new to the sport, as you were saying. Definitely, she's been drifting for many years, but we've seen from some Japanese drivers that come to Formula D, they're maybe not totally accustomed to our style of judging, the way we lay tracks out and things like that. So it can be a little bit challenging to get accustomed to how we judge, what we're looking for, what we're asking for. But she seems to have done a great job of adapting really quickly to what we've been talking about.
Okay, next battle now. The other Team Orange driver here this weekend, Naoto Suenaga in the lead position, followed by Miyoshi in the R34.
That was great.
Speaking about adapting to judging conditions, Suenaga, he was listening the hardest, I think, out of anybody in the driver's briefing yesterday. Very smooth lead run so far. A little bit shallow the angle in the lead position there, but chase position too, very shallow. Trying to keep up with the 2JZ powered S15 in the lead here. Naoto Suenaga through that water splash, flicks it back. Good angle, good speed in the lead position. Miyoshi just kind of being left behind there.
Yeah, a few steps behind, right? It didn't look like he was totally comfortable in the chase position.
Which is unusual because out of anybody here, you should be confident in chasing. It's Suenaga.
Right. But he just it felt to me like he was a few steps behind, as though he couldn't, maybe not keep up speed-wise, but just keep up with what, I guess, the level of driving
the tempo of driving that Suenaga was putting down.
Look at that entry.
Look at that entry there.
That was amazing.
Perfect entry. That's exactly what we want to see here. Slight feint into big angle, holding that angle all the way around.
Yeah, looked great
and
right
Miyoshi
there.
here kind of like, what do I do? What do I do?
Poorly timed transition.
Yeah, very badly timed transition there, which left him behind, which he was never really able to catch up.
Suenaga was a tad bit late getting into outside zone 2, but did get out to it and did a good job of getting to 3 as well. The rotation, you can see the car, he's very comfortable letting the car get to angle to let it rotate, and he knows that he can trust it, which, again, we haven't seen from all drivers in the competition so far.
That's right.
But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that confidence. Not easy to do in these wet conditions, but we ask a lot of the drivers, and we expect a lot.
We expect a lot.
We do.
Okay, we've got them lined up on the start line there. Just a quick look from the starter there. Having a bit of a look under Suenaga's car for some reason. Was there something hanging down from his car?
Potentially.
Looks like we might be getting Kevin Wells over, our technical director. He's the same guy who is in the United States series, the TD over there for that.
Those pants are supposed to be like a light tan.
Wow, they're completely wet now.
Yeah, they are completely soaked.
He's wearing like sand shoes as well.
Well, there must be something serious if they're getting.
Here comes Kevin.
Look. There's Big Kev.
Kevin, of course, the famous guy in that, you know, the guy with, you always see him holding up his iPhone with a timer, shaking his head.
Yeah, kneeling down right on the wet pavement. Good for him.
Oh, yeah, you can see on the left of the screen. Yeah, what is that? Just to the left, just under that SSR sticker.
Yeah.
There's something there. Miyoshi's flashing his lights. Okay, so we have an answer there.
Yeah, his wastegate tube is bent.
Right.
But in the chase position, he doesn't deem it any kind of
If it falls off,
issue.
it doesn't matter. So
Exactly.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so he's going to let him go.
All right, so wastegate being part of the exhaust system. So it's not unusual for exhaust to become dislodged. Of course, they have to be, they're not usually not solidly mounted to the car. They need to have some sort of give. And of course, exhaust getting very hot all the time. Very prone to cracking and falling off. But in the chase, so if something does fall off the car, he should be okay. All right, here we go. Initiation, early initiation from the chase car, Suenaga. But looking pretty good so far for Miyoshi. Let's see if he gets into this outer zone.
Late getting in there.
Late getting in there, going in very deep. Suenaga transitioning, just keeping it right there. Oh, this is a bit of a odd chase from Suenaga, but he is keeping pace with the lead car.
You have to wonder, did the lead car make the same mistake up in the lead position as he did in the chase position earlier at inside clip 1?
On the brakes there, going up the hill. Wow, that's an amazing chase run there from Suenaga, showing a lot of high-level techniques, keeping up with the lead car.
But you can see that R34 is no slouch.
No,
if you look at the acceleration up to initiation here, when you looked at it from the side, he actually gained a little bit on Suenaga.
Yeah.
So let's watch what happened here. He's late into outside zone 1. About midpoint, gets out to the zone. Goes a little bit over there, and then really slows down coming by inside clip 1. You can tell, you can see the way the car's rotating. It's doing the little choppy kind of rotation.
Yeah.
He doesn't look completely confident in the lead. He's not letting the car rotate as you'd like to see. When you compare it to Suenaga's run going through there, Suenaga was very committed going by inside clip 1, whereas it looked like Miyoshi was a little hesitant through there. And you could tell that Suenaga in the chase was expecting Miyoshi to stay on throttle through there, but he didn't.
But at the same time, Suenaga doing a great job there, keeping the car, slowing down while keeping the car at angle and keeping it on the edge of balance, ready to flick it back. It's a very high-level technique. And results 1, 2, 3 to Naoto Suenaga, Team Orange driver in that bright orange S15 Silvia. Knocks out Hayato Miyoshi in the ER34. Sorry, R34. ER is the R4. Moving on to the top 16.
Ooh, look what we have here.
Okay, here we go. This is the battle of the day.
Big, huge implications here. Championship.
Big implications. Andrew Gray, currently sitting first in the championship. Mad Mike Whiddett, currently sitting fourth in the championship. So they are quite close in the points. Andy 251, Mike 224. Now, yesterday Mike qualifying higher than Andrew Gray. Andy getting a 0-1 run. Now, how is this run going to go? Mike, one.
Oh,
and that is a red flag for the restart.
Did he jump the light? He hit a cone? It looked like Mad Mike got really sideways going through the chicane, which you don't generally see.
It could have been Mike getting tagging one of the cones there.
Pylon touchy.
Pylon touchy.
Yeah,
so pylon touch.
So you know that the stress level for both of these drivers is high right now.
Very high.
We're not the only two that know that there are implications for the championship right now. They are definitely
they know
highly aware.
Oh, they're aware of it.
So Mike wants to be the champion. Andy Gray has been the champion 2 years in a row
2 years in a row now.
So this is huge for Mike. He wants to take Andrew out, and he wants to go all the way to the finals of this event to cement his first place, the championship.
I talked to Mike last night. He was literally foaming at the mouth. Right, here we go. Here's this run. This could determine the championship. This battle here. Mad Mike Whiddett in the lead. Andrew Gray. It's a great initiation from both these guys so far. Mad Mike Whiddett, huge angle. Andrew Gray running very wide to the outer zone.
Look at that line.
Look at the line from these guys. Mad Mike Whiddett. Okay, second out of zone, Mike running really wide. Out towards the wall. Skimming that wall, Mad Mike. Slowing down there though. And flicking it back, he saved it. Up over the finish line. Is this going to be a huge upset from this battle?
Mad Mike's line through outside zone 1, I don't think he could do that any better. His
It's
tire
amazing.
was on the entire line, the entire way around. That was perfect. Andrew Gray overshot. This is not a typical error that you see from somebody like Andrew Gray.
An entry there from Mad Mike, like we saw there with Suenaga, a little feint. Now watch the lead car, watch the RX-7 right here.
The beginning of the
Right
zone,
there.
boom.
Right there.
Beautiful.
Perfect. The best line we've seen so far in that outer zone. Just almost tags it in a clip. Very wide on that outer zone
he was
there.
late on zone 2 and
Was a
wide
little
on
bit
it.
wide.
Yeah. A little bit of a bobble there. Nothing too
Right there.
serious.
That could have been fatal right there, but saving it.
So what
in a
kind of
clip.
compromises did you see from Andrew Gray in the chase? After he made that error, he did make up some proximity. Not a lot, but he made up some proximity. What I saw was going by inside clip 1, very, very low angle from Andrew Gray.
Yeah, very low angle, trying to set himself up. He knows that the last chance he has to catch up with Mike is this downhill section through outer zone 2. And of course, Mike running very late into that outer zone. Andrew Gray a bit earlier. So Andrew Gray doing a great job recovering from that mistake on outer zone 1 where he threw it in a bit too hard.
So Andrew Gray, his goal right now is to run a very high level lead run. He has to.
What Andrew Gray has to do now is get basically a perfect 100 lead run if he wants to get this. Once again, another great run.
Oh!
Mike, Mad Mike, understeer from Mike. And a straight from Mad Mike with that.
Wow.
He's thrown it away.
Wow.
That's straightened.
That just proves it's not over until it's over.
It ain't over till it's over, and it might be over for Mad Mike after that straight and that understeer on the entry.
Whoa. The two judges just looked at me with their jaws just down. This is
Let me roll my tongue back up and put it back in my mouth. Oh, this result. Okay, so let's watch the entry.
Yeah. Andrew Gray, we said he had to run a high level run in the lead. He did run a very high quality lead run. Mad Mike on the other hand ended up with understeer, over rotation, and a complete straight, and actually an opposite drift. So he is completely zeroed himself out, if you will, incomplete in the chase position for Mad Mike.
There's no
Andrew Gray,
chance of that being one more time.
Andrew Gray put his car in all the right places in the lead. I think he did a really great job in the lead position. Got close to everything that he should all the way around.
It's a shame there for the Red Bull RX-7. That first run from Mike, though.
Yeah, that is.
Whoa.
When it comes to pressure as a driver, you have to be able to deal with it, and Andrew Gray dealt with it in a grand fashion.
And let's make it official. Andrew Gray currently sitting in first place in the championship. He's going for 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3. Knocking out Mad Mike Whiddett, who's currently 4th in the championship. That brings to an end Mad Mike Whiddett's chance at a championship here in Japan in the Formula Drift Series.
You need to push hard all the time,
Yeah.
right? Like I said, we're asking for very high-level driving from everybody, and sometimes, again, that razor's edge, you can just go over it a little bit and look what it can do. You know, it doesn't take much. Doesn't take much.
Just that understeer. You could see Mike, he was on the handbrake, he was doing what he could. He could see the understeer was coming. He just couldn't cancel it out in time. That lead run, though, I mean, let's not let that overshadow. Mike's lead run was amazing. I don't think we're going to. I'd be impressed if we see another lead run as good as that here today. Okay, so hard act to follow here right now. Okay, all right, so we are going to have a chance to cool down for a second here. That is a false start there from Matsuyama and Jamaken. So Mad Mike, he's going to be even more upset than usual after that result.
We had another pylon touchy on this one.
Pylon touchy.
Pylon touchy.
Just to lighten it up for a second, I'd like to, what are the different names for these items around the world? Here in Japan we call them pylons.
Yeah.
In Australia we call them witches' hats for obvious reasons.
That's not one we hear very often in North America.
Okay, what do you...
Cone.
What about in Canada? It's a cone.
Pylon.
What is
cone.
it? What is it in French?
Oh
Pilon.
yeah.
Pilon.
Well, I think in proper French, but in Quebec they would call it "Hey, t'as frappé une cone." Yeah, it's very slang, right?
I
You
see.
get the English in
And
there.
in the United States, it's
They'd say cone, probably.
cone. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, next one now. Matsuyama in the lead. Jamaken following. So an S15 battle.
Bit of a distance between the two of them right now. It's hard to tell from that view, but
Well, a bit of a wobble there from the lead car. Matsuyama giving Jamaken a great chance to catch up.
yes.
Okay, this is a good strategy here. He's read this right, Jamaken. Jamaken, you can see that Matsuyama has a bit of a speed disadvantage.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the speed is going to hit. Collision. Safe.
That was way
Woo!
better than it could have been.
That went a lot better
Yeah.
than it could have.
I was expecting a.
Was there even any
hard-
collision there
I
whatsoever?
don't know if his back bumper maybe got into.
Jamaken, hey, still pretty.
Yeah,
Just,
that was,
actually, there may have been some collision there. Jamaken just checking his steering there to make sure that nothing's
Yeah.
bent.
So let's watch the replay. So something you can't tell from this view is that there was actually quite a bit of distance between both cars at initiation. From our view here live, you could see the distance between them as we're looking kind of sideways at them.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more apparent now, but you can see the lead driver making those bobbles right there.
Yeah,
The
Jamaken catches up.
Jamaken catches him. Jamaken has a weird transition right here. He kind of does it earlier, but makes it work, gets through there no problem. But unfortunately, Matsuyama here rotates. Look at that. He just spun out of the way. That was perfect.
Nice.
That was some precision driving. That's something you'd see in a movie. Or
Yeah, that was. What I thought was funny here too is you see as Matsuyama comes around, you see his helmet. Just watch the lead car, watch the green car, watch his helmet. Ready? He's like,
Oh no! Don't hit me! Don't hit me! Don't hit me! That was incredible.
Wow. Well, that bet went about as good as it could for both these guys. I mean, I always cringe slightly when people describe drifting as being like ice skating or like figure skating, but
Yeah.
I mean, when that sort of thing happens, you
When
have
that
to be like, yeah, all
It
right.
really is.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. Well done, boys.
Take something as miserable as a spin and make it entertaining. That was fun to watch.
That was very fun. A bit of a. We're giving you all the feels here today at Formula Drift Japan. We're going from that Mad Mike versus Andrew Gray battle straight into that Matsuyama Yamada, Torval and Dean act.
That was surprising what just happened there. That, it's amazing how quickly we forget because we're just talking about that very orchestrated spin that we just saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andy Gray and Mad Mike, that was one that as soon as we saw the bracket last night, we went, all of us collectively, ooh, this is going to be, this is going to be big.
This will change things.
Yeah, and the fact that it went the way that it did, you think right off the bat, ooh, Gray kind of threw it away in this chase position. He made a big error coming into outside zone 1. Look at Mad Mike, did a great lead. Mad Mike has the advantage right now. He's got it. All he has to do is put together a decent chase, and he can make this work. Didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
Andrew Gray had a lot of pressure on him. He knew he needed to run a high-quality lead run, and he did. He was able to put it together.
He did.
It shows that he has years and years of competition experience dealing with the stresses and the pressures that come along with that.
Well, that's the thing. Both these guys have. They both have that.
You're absolutely right.
It's not that one of them could, take advantage of the fact. For example, the battle we saw before with the Jager and Takahashi. Of course, Takahashi, same car for many years. He's won a championship in that car. He just made it easy. It was easy for him to win that.
Yeah.
Taking nothing away from Chris's efforts, by all means.
Right.
But that was not the case with Gray and Whiddett by any means. They both had that high level of skill, confidence, and ability in their cars.
Because at that point, Gray was the one with the pressure on him.
Yeah.
Mad Mike's going.
In the lead, too.
Right. Mad Mike's going, oh, I did a great lead. He messed up in the chase. I've got this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's
I'm pretty sure he probably said it in a slightly different voice.
You're probably right. I don't like it.
Oh, wait, hang on, look at that.
Yeah, what's going on?
We have a missing door skin.
Oh, there was some contact made.
So it looks like they probably just ripped it off.
Yeah.
And they're going to run this
Safer without.
Without the door skin. Of course, the doors in FD not a structurally integral part of the car or a safety part of the car. Of course, we do have full roll cages in these cars. A lot of them are just running fiberglass doors, just either metal door skins and with gutted metal doors, gutted metal door skins, or full fiberglass doors. So, so we've got Kevin Wells down there, of course. He's the guy in charge of safety. We're getting him waved. No, are we not running this?
Yeah, Kevin's going to make him call a 5. Make sure he gets his door set a little bit better than what they're doing right now. Something that Kevin sees down there is not kosher. He doesn't like it, so he's going to make them fix. I guess that door's actually, does it look like the whole thing's pushed in? It's kind of hard to tell on the camera that we have there. But
can we hear on that mic over there what they're saying?
What is he saying?
Oh, he has to put the door on. Okay, so some.
Oh, so the door skin is out there somewhere.
We're looking for a door. If anyone's found a door, could you please contact reception?
There we go.
We are looking for the door. So yeah, the door of Matsuyama is out there somewhere. We are looking for his door. If anyone knows where it is, please bring it and a roll of gaffer tape to the front desk. Thank you.
Get that mounted back up.
So obviously there was some kind of contact there?
Yeah, the back of
Jamaken's car
hit his door.
Ah, there you go.
Yes,
okay.
and apparently the door fell off at some point on the drive back to the start line. So
right.
Okay,
so I think before we run this second battle, it's going to take a few minutes for this to get sorted out. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, give you guys a chance to cool down after these amazing battles you've been seeing so far. We'll be right back with the rest of the top 32 bracket here at Formula Drift Japan Round 5. See you in a few minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back to Okayama International Swimming Pool for Formula Drift Backstroke Championships. Just kidding. This is Formula Drift Japan, top 32 battle, round 5. This is the final round for the 2017 season. And we have seen some stuff here in the top 32. We're not even 3/4 of the way through the top 32. We've already had that battle between Mad Mike Whiddett and Andrew Gray of Power Vehicles. Gray coming up top.
yes, he did.
Yeah.
He dealt really well with the pressures. He put his car where he needed to. Mad Mike. They both made an error in the same spot. One was way more severe than the other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's what drifting is, isn't it? Putting your car in the right. Well, that's what motorsport is in general. Is putting your car in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we have?
And looking
next?
sick while you're doing it.
Sick, mate.
Sick. Unfortunately, we're not seeing any sick smoke today, due to the fact that it's wet. We have a hurricane, not a hurricane. Sorry, that's in the United States.
Typhoon.
We have a typhoon. Not as bad, obviously, as the ones in the States have been recently, thankfully.
Yeah.
It's just good old rain and lots of it here. So
thankfully, the winds aren't picking up yet. And the wind, actually, the rain has subsided. It's still very lightly raining at the moment.
It's just a gentle pitter-patter.
Yes. But that could pick up again later. It's supposed to. We'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll
see. Is
see.
this just black coffee?
That is just coffee with sugar in it.
Coffee with sugar.
Well, I guess so, yeah.
All right. It's warm, though. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they gave it to us. Next battle now. Iko Saito versus Jin Harino. We're skipping over that Matsuyama battle until they find his door. Look at the angle on these two. Whoa!
And the
huge angle. Harino doing a great job getting
Woo,
proximity.
Boy.
Whoa, the lead run.
A little slippery there.
Harino has a hard job keeping pace with Iko Saito. Wow. Harino falling back a fair way, but understandable due to the lead car's odd driving.
Very choppy driving in the lead position.
Saito trying to go for it, thinking it's all based on angle here today. That was a good chase run from Jin Harino.
Not easy to do in these conditions with that type of lead to follow either. So he did an excellent job in the chase position. Look at the initiation here.
The angle here, whoa.
That was a big initiation.
That was a great run there from Saito, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good initiation. But you can see right here it starts to fall apart on him.
Oh.
Very choppy. This is along the lines of what we consider an unchaseable lead. Maybe not quite that bad, but
almost there.
You're looking at somebody who's missing a lot of the zones. He just missed outside zone 2. The car's getting to big angle. He's slowing down. He's speeding up. He's really making the course choppy. It's not looking smooth, and that's not what we're looking for in the lead position. So kudos to Harino in the chase. he had a very difficult lead run to follow there, and you can't fault him for the mistakes that he was making in the chase position, as he didn't have a good lead to follow. So I think he did a great job, and we're going to see how Harino can now put together his lead. He doesn't have a very high bar to achieve in the lead position to beat what we just saw in the lead from Saito. So Harino needs to still put together a good lead run, and then we're going to see what Saito does in his chase. So if he has a good lead run to chase, it should make it fairly simple and easy for him to do a pretty good chase run.
Yeah, well, Jin Harino is he's also a professional racing driver, which is probably one of the reasons why he was able to control that car so well in that chase position.
Right. What does he race generally?
I don't know the exact series.
Okay.
I just know he does. I think he does some various kinds of. He's not like a super high level racing driver, but he does drive a lot.
Okay.
Professionally. So there's a lot of just that coolness
Right.
Of being behind the wheel at high speed. Maybe lacking slightly in the flashiness that a lot of these other the street style guys
Look
have.
at the gap. Wow, that's huge.
Already huge gap between these two.
Saito is in trouble.
Throwing it a bit too hard. Is he going to be able to recover from this huge angle that he's? Yes, he has. He's recovered from it, but might be too little too late. Well, a bit of a straight in there from the lead car, Jin Harino, but it was on the transition, so it should be okay. So Jin Harino just continuing his run, and Saito, that big mistake on the entry.
Huge, yeah.
Mistakes compounding, resulting in falling all the way back. This may be a fairly obvious result. So let's watch this entry again. Look at this start. The throttle control of the car on the right there, the S15 Silvia of Jin Harino, up through the gears. It's not the most powerful car, but it's very well balanced.
Really precise on his initiation.
Yeah,
right
very
there.
precise entry.
Look how
right
over-rotated Saito is behind. Now he's had to slow way down. Harino goes a little bit off there, but not very much. A little bit of a bobble on transition.
Should be okay.
Gets the car to hold angle through outside zone 2, but at this point, Saito's nowhere to be found. This isn't even a tandem battle anymore.
Yeah.
Saito, because of the error he made way back on initiation, was not able to make up that proximity. So he's going to be at a huge disadvantage in the chase position. And unfortunately, if you compare lead to lead and chase to chase, Saito, I think, probably fell behind in both cases.
He did, but I mean, I got to say that was a great recovery there from Iko Saito. Any other guy we've seen do that sort of entry has always spun out.
You're right.
But unfortunately, left the screen, Jin Harino getting the win, moving on to the top 16.
Yeah, they got back to the start line now. So we've got Matsuyama and Yamada.
Okay, so this is the battle you saw just before the commercial break. Matsuyama and Yamada. This is the second battle between these two because Matsuyama had an issue with his door. That's a lovely pirouette. You know, if that was that spin there, if that was done in slow motion and set to like Super Eurobeat, that'd be something out of Initial D.
Are you trying to tell some people subconsciously out there to do that?
Well, I'm not necessarily, but you know, it would have, as it rotated around, it would have zoomed in on you know Matsuyama's face as they made eye contact, sort of thing. You know,
some bobbles in the chase here on initiation.
So all taped up.
Ooh,
oh, big understeer, gak spin, spinning the opposite direction. The chase car Matsuyama, Yamada completing his run. And here comes Matsuyama after that big mistake there. So Yamada completing his run without issue. Yamada, another driver who I get the feeling has a bit of an advantage in these conditions. Wet conditions. He doesn't have the highest horsepower. Very controllable car. Let's watch the replay. So let's see how Matsuyama made this mistake. So left of screen, Matsuyama.
Watch as he initiates.
Yeah, wobble, wobble.
It's multiple initiation. And then just ends up with some understeer.
Yeah, understeer. So similar to like where Mad Mike went off.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The tricky part of the track right there.
Right there. Parts of the track that consistently throw people off. So I think we're going to have a result here. Left the screen. Jamaken is his nickname, otherwise known as Kenji Yamada. 1, 2, 3 in that maroon, sparkly maroon. You can't see the sparkles, unfortunately, today due to the overcast conditions. Moving on to the top 16. He'll be going up against Jin Harino. So perhaps the tape, all that extra tape on the side of the car there, ruining the car's aerodynamics, making it understeer to the left. Just glad they were able to find his door and we were able to do that run. Okay, comes our next battle now. Ichiyanagi versus Murakami. So a yellow on yellow fight today.
Yesterday you said you were going to ask him about the design on the side of his car. Did you have the chance to ask him?
I didn't. I saw him last night after the briefing, but all I remembered to talk about was how sick his angle was, and I was like, dude, your angle looks awesome. I wish it was dry so you could have smoke coming off there. What are you suggesting? It looks like something.
It's been brought up. I'm not saying it.
I'll
said
ask
you were going to ask what it was.
I will. I'll ask.
And I was just checking it
I
to
forgot.
see if you had.
I'm sorry. I
verified.
forgot.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. Maybe between 32 and 16.
All right, here we go. If he wins, if he loses, I'll ask him.
Just
anyway.
ask him. Yeah.
Okay. Ichiyanagi in the lead. He's the angle king.
Lots of yellow out there.
Lots of yellow.
Look
Dunlop.
at the proximity. Look at the mimic.
But this chase run from Murakami. Wow, This is a really good chase run so far. Ichiyanagi, his line, nice and wide. Good line so far from both these guys, filling that outer zone, both of them. Great imitation run here from Murakami. Just a bit closer, a little bit lacking the angle there from the chase car. Watch the switch back here. He's going to try and tuck it in, and he does that. Wow, great run there, up over the finish line.
Started off really strong.
He did.
Very good proximity.
This is
really
a good
mimic.
This is a good chase.
Yeah. The only error I saw from the chase right away was that he missed outside zone 1. If you watch Ichiyanagi in the lead. When he gets out to outside zone 1, Murakami doesn't quite get out. You can see he's already inside a little bit here, but look at the proximity.
Yeah.
Really
right
clean.
Right there.
Yeah. And then he stays on the inside. So he doesn't really mimic the line as much, but it puts him in a good position on the transition. This is where he kind of falls back a little bit, though.
Yeah.
You can't say Ichiyanagi's trying to get away. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
No, he's putting on angle there.
Right. The chase car is not able to mimic and match what the lead driver is doing through a lot of the track. So lead car, very high level. Chase car made some errors, although his proximity from initiation to outside zone 1 was really nice.
Yeah, so a very close battle between these two, Ichiyanagi and Murakami. Ichiyanagi in the 1-via. He will be in the chase position this time. And Murakami in the S15 Sylvia. I should point out for those who are a bit confused from yesterday, we have a lot of Saitos here this weekend.
Multi-Saito. None of them are Daigo.
None of them are Daigo. Should point that out. Yeah, Daigo hasn't run in FD Japan since Ebisu last year, when he came out in that Dodge Challenger.
Yes, then the engine blew up.
And then he blew the engine, disintegrated the engine.
When I was at his shop later on, I saw that they had a 2JZ mocked up inside the engine bay of the Challenger, which would probably make some American car fans
would make them upset.
Maybe make them upset. Yes, traditionalists, if you will.
Second battle now. Murakami in the lead, Ichiyanagi. Their first run, very close, both these guys. And it looks like it's going to go that way again. Murakami washing off a lot of speed, trying not to go too wide. Wow, look at that lead run from Murakami. Perfect line there. Second outer zone. Big angle from the chase car, Ichiyanagi. Is he going to be able to catch up? He's got to keep this distance. He can't fall back here. Ooh, this is going to be a hard one to judge. Unless it's going to be easy to judge. You can have a think about it if you need to. I can.
Yeah, there's a whole question about proximity. You want to look at how long each driver was in close proximity to the other. We know that Murakami was great on proximity from about this point to the beginning of outside zone 1, but then he fell off. Right here, Ichiyanagi's not as close as Murakami was.
Yeah, but then he catches
He
right
catches
up here.
a little bit here.
Great line from him as well.
Yeah. And then he kind of stays the same level of proximity for the rest of the course.
Yeah.
You can see
Quite
Murakami.
shallow there, very shallow.
Very shallow angle.
From Ichiyanagi as
and
well.
then Ichiyanagi's line was a little bit poor through there. So you have to look at who did a better job in the lead, who did a better job in the chase. Did Murakami, was he trying to get away in the lead, or was he fulfilling his lead driver goals?
Yeah.
Was he going through the zones with the proper angle? Was he making it look as he should in the lead?
I hope you're all judging along with us at home. Our crowd here this weekend. Yeah. Umbrellas for days. So, of course, it is Halloween.
Oh, look at that. People are dressed up.
It is Halloween, of course. We brought Halloween here. Okay, so we have a result. Left of screen is the S15. Right of screen, the 1-via. So we have one judge one more time. One judge in favor of Ichinagi. That's the 1-via.
Oh!
And one in favor of Murakami. So we have another three-way split decision. So we're going to be having a one more time battle between Ichinagi and Murakami. Yeah, I can see that. That was not an easy run. Both of those guys had a lot of positives and quite a few negatives. And it was hard to sort of look at, like, Murakami had better line a lot of the time, but Ichinagi's angle was better. Murakami, his chase was a bit better in some parts, but it's very difficult to judge that one. So as you can see, it's a three-way split. It's the second time that's happened today.
It is. Matsukawa and Tang.
Next battle now, James Tang from Hong Kong versus Matsukawa. So Matsukawa leading. It's a V6 twin-turbo Toyota A85.
Uh-oh.
Throwing it a bit too hard there, Matsukawa, and spinning out. Unforced error in the lead position. James Tang, 2JZ 1 Series. Great looking car. Keep it off the wall. There you go. Remember yesterday, James Tang was got the closest to the wall out of anybody.
Yeah, he did a good job yesterday.
Yeah,
we told him that last night. He said, lucky, lucky. Give yourself a little bit of credit, James. Did a good job.
No, he's getting better and better as the season goes on. James Tang campaigning this entire FD season.
That little A85 is fast.
It is. Usually competes in D1 Grand Prix. It really does punch above its weight.
I would say so.
It's like a lightweight fighter that's just trying to put on some pounds to fight a middleweight.
Yeah. Lightweight fighter with big gloves.
That's it. The 2GR V6 twin turbo. It's a 2GR Toyota V6 out of a Toyota Crown. Shoehorned into that engine bay. Of course, everything seemed to be going V6 these days. That car keeping up with that trend as James Tang continues on his run. So we'll be changing their positions. This time Tang will be in the lead. So Matsukawa, the more experienced of the two drivers, but of course big spin there. Not a whole lot he can really do apart from just try and get as close as he can to Tang.
He'll have to hope for an error from Tang
All he can do is hope for a mistake from Tang. So Matsukawa, not in the greatest position here. He has to simultaneously keep really close to Tang and hope he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
If he hangs back and waits for a mistake, that could be judged against him as well.
Yeah.
So not an easy decision to make for Matsukawa, what strat he needs to take in this battle. I guess there's no real other option for him apart from just going as hard as he can. And
hope for the best.
Keep his reactions on a knife edge if James Tang makes a mistake, to try and capitalize on that mistake.
Wipers, full blast.
Yep,
ready to go.
Got the wipers on 3. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. James Tang in the lead. Coming very wide there. Very slow in his entry, James Tang. Matsukawa, early entry from Matsukawa. And a second spin, double spin for Matsukawa. What is he doing? He didn't need to do that. He didn't need to go that hardcore.
James was very slow on his initiation.
James was very, very slow
on
his initiation.
Very slow.
So is that what is going to happen here, Ryan Lantane?
Well, We'll have to look at James in the lead position. Did he really hold things up for Matsukawa in the chase? Because a lead driver can be held responsible for causing the chase to spin as well, which would be put on the lead driver, James Tang, in this position, in this situation, which would cause a one more time. Which
so let's watch this again. Yeah. Does James Tang initiate before the 1 marker? Because we do have the 3, 2, 1 cones on the side of the track. So he runs very wide. This is legal. This is okay. And there. So he doesn't. So James Tang does initiate. It's not a very clean initiation from James Tang, but it does appear to be legal. It does appear to be legal. James Tang. Now Matsukawa taking that strategy, going as hardcore as possible, just hoping that he can stay there with James Tang. It's a high risk, high reward strat from Matsukawa, unfortunately resulting in a spin. Really would like to see that from a different angle again. It should make it a bit clearer. We
are hoping, there it is. We need it a little bit earlier though.
So,
the view,
so no contact.
Yeah. Just want to see the run up to initiation. I want to see what happened as they were coming into view.
Live replay right here. Here you go.
Well, they almost had it. They were really doing a good job. And then all they had to do was hit play. We'll try this again. See if it can work. This is a good view right now. Kind of artistic, you know, you got the out of focus guy in the background.
That was the latest entry.
Super late.
That was a very, very, very late entry from James Tang. I think we've got Robbie Nishida talking to our floor manager to see if we can get that replay from as early as possible. Because James Tang, he did initiate.
Yeah, the key right now is seeing where James initiated and seeing both cars as they approach the initiation point together to get an idea of what James was doing at that point in time, what Matsukawa was doing in the chase at the same time. We want to see really what occurred here.
Okay, here we go, replay. So James Tang right there, he initiates. Very shallow entry, but it looks like he does initiate.
He was at angle as he went by.
Just after the second marker, it looked like he was, so that looked like a legal entry from James Tang. A bit unorthodox compared to some of the other entries we've seen so far here today, but nevertheless, a legal entry. Sorry, a legal entry. I have to make that clear. Yes. My Australian accent, so a legal entry.
A legal entry.
You might mistake that. It was a legal entry.
Yes, it was clean. It was fine. Yeah, it wasn't fast, but we don't have speed as a portion of the judging. You know, it's not really taken into consideration.
So unfortunately for Matsukawa, that is going to be a win to James Tang from Hong Kong. He's going to be moving on to the top 16.
So we do look at speed or the pace that we see from the cars throughout the course. We want to make sure that they're not slowing in awkward areas or having big corrections and things like that. But in this situation, Matsukawa, his job as the chase driver is to mimic and imitate the lead car. And what it looked like is he came in, initiated earlier. He didn't have to do that. He should be mimicking and imitating what the lead car is doing.
Yep. So once again, these are the sorts of things that you rely on spotters to do. Knowledge of other drivers is very important. This is one of the things that can catch out drivers who take on international competitions, or in this case, drivers from other countries. If you have no information on how they drive, if you don't know sort of the average driving they do, if you're not aware of that, sometimes you can push your driving a bit too hard and come off on the wrong side of it like Matsukawa did. Okay, next battle now we have Hinome versus Morozumi. So Hinome, sort of the dark horse yesterday.
Oh no.
And a spin from Morozumi in the chase position. Keep it going, see if we can get off the track. There you go. So easy win of the first battle to Hinome.
The lead driver does need to complete the track, and he's not doing a good job of it right now.
He does need to complete.
That was close. He's making some very big errors in the lead. He almost just caused a double zero there, a double incomplete.
If Morozumi didn't complete the run, that means that he would have gotten a zero?
Well,
he would have received a 0?
Hinome had to complete.
Oh, the lead car has to complete the run.
If the chase car spins, causes an incomplete for themselves, the lead car still needs to complete the course. There's no reason why the lead car can't complete the course.
Right.
Now, had Hinome in the lead made an error, spun, straightened, whatever, he would also be given an incomplete, and then you'd have 2 incompletes in the first battle, and it's at that point kind of even.
I see.
Right. So as you see, as he comes through outside zone 3 right here, he kind of over-rotates quite a bit, actually. Had to pull angle out of the car a bit. He managed to maintain through there. Luckily, his line was good. Even that transition right there coming up to inside clip 2, he did have a bit of a hesitation there. Not enough to give him an incomplete, but definitely enough to be held against him. So he's going to have to do a good job now in the chase position. Morozumi right now, we're going to compare lead to lead. Right. So he can still, let's say Hinome makes a mistake in the chase. Okay. What we do then is refer back to the leads, because both chases don't impede the lead from completing. So then we'd have to compare leads. So Hinome right now, he can't spin in the chase, clearly. I mean, he never can. But Morozumi still has the opportunity right now to put down a really good lead run. And if Hinome does spin, we compare leads. Right. He could still come out ahead.
So luckily we have someone here who's actually read the inside of the box lid. You know what the rules are. And is able to explain all that to us. Okay, lead run.
What do we have?
So was that a jump start from Morozumi?
It looked like a jump start.
Of course, the car in the chase position is allowed to jump the start if they feel it will give them an advantage. So if you do see the car in the chase position jump the start before the lights extinguish, that is legal. That is a strategy that can be used by drivers who feel their car is a little bit lower horsepower, or they want to get a bit more acceleration up. If they're running kind of like a laggy sort of setup on their car.
And you could see in that, if they had a replay, you'd see the lead car leave, and then the chase car a couple of seconds later, a couple of beats later, leaves when the lights go off. So clearly that lead driver was a little bit too anxious. But we do have the restarts in place for just that. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Chase car did get a late start there still.
Chase car did get a late start, but hey, that's a strategy as well. That's on him.
Oof, look at that distance.
Straight. Huge distance. Morozumi, big distance between these two guys. Morozumi in the lead, but Hinome is slowly catching up with him. Both cars filling their outer zone. Here comes the transition. Flick back. Morozumi doing a good job here. And a second spin. Whoa.
He just touched his front bumper. Did you see that?
Touched his front bumper, yeah. We saw the canard went flap as he went past, so he did get a bit of contact. Just a bit of disrespect there from the chase cars.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. We're not suggesting it's on purpose, of course. Oh no, I'm kidding. Robbie thought I was being serious and saying, "Oh, he's disrespecting me, boy." Yo, I was like, "No, it's not that. It's just a joke, you know." I mean, it's funny. It's like you spin out. It's like, what's the phrase?
Get out of my way.
No. Like insult to injury.
Oh yeah.
Or injury to insult, rather. There we go.
Yeah.
That's that rear.
Whatever you call that thing.
Canards are on the front. What do you call the ones on the back?
I don't know. That thing's very aggressive.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive bit of bodywork there. Hinome just slicing through the front bumper of Morozumi. Of course, luckily, due to the regulations of Formula Drift, there would be no sort of oil cooler or anything like that in that part of the front of the car. So should just be a easy repair with a couple of cable ties. So Hinome will move on to the top 16.
We only have 2 battles left. We have the one more time of Yanagi and Murakami, and then Ishikawa and Hiroshima.
That's it.
And that'll round out the top 32. So we are doing the one more time now.
We are doing the one more time now between Yanagi and Murakami. So Yanagi is on the start line. We're waiting for Murakami to get his way down to the start line. He's got to get down there pretty quick.
He does.
Here he comes.
The yellow battle.
So yes, the yellow battle.
Oh, where did he
Wait, he's
just
getting
go?
waved in. So Murakami just got waved into the pits. We are calling it, I believe he's calling
Yeah.
a 5-minute.
Number 20.
Okay, so car
Ichinagi.
number 20, that is, so Ichinagi.
Isn't that Ichinagi at the start line? right
Ichinagi is the one at the start line.
now? So maybe Murakami called it, because Murakami's the one that went back.
Yeah, Murakami's
to
the one who went back
pits.
to the pits. So I believe we're getting a technical timeout being called by Murakami in the S15 Sylvia. So we'll see what that means. And it is still raining here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's, I don't really need to say that. I'm sort of hoping it'd stop for a little bit, but it's just continuing. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter.
See what the radar looks like.
We've moved in the equipment a bit further into the tent today, so hopefully there's no rain falling on the plastic covering the equipment that you can hear. We were getting a couple of complaints yesterday. We could hear this. We could hear rain falling on something. So some people were saying they enjoyed it. It's kind of quite relaxing, but other people are sort of annoyed by it. So.
I tend to like that myself. It's like the rain on a tin roof, or
Yeah.
you're in a tent and it's raining.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah.
of cool. So if you look at the tropical depression, whatever this thing is, it's
Yep.
basically
Oh.
right.
It's right. It's just due south of us.
Yeah.
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 There's two. Are there two of them?
Um,
Oh, that's it moving. Oh,
I
yeah,
guess
okay.
it's moving.
That's
yeah.
the. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can turn off the
Prediction.
cyclone thingy here.
And
You can just see there's a lot of cloud cover.
NOAA. What's
Yeah.
that? North.
That's a great question.
What does NOAA stand for?
National something
National-
radar. I don't know.
There's no R in there.
Looks like we have rain ending at 3:45 today.
Yeah, that's the report I've got. 4
Yeah.
o'clock. So we've got a 100% wet event here.
It is getting a little breezy though, compared to what it was this morning.
It is a bit.
Yeah. See my paper blown away here? That wasn't
chilly.
happening earlier.
You're wearing ankle socks too, aren't you?
I know, yeah. It was
Why-
a really
why
good
are you doing
idea
that?
today. Oh, I have my waterproof hiking boots on today because I learned my lesson yesterday. We have SEMA right after this, so we're heading to Vegas from here for SEMA and then going into the Grand Canyon and stuff, hiking afterwards. So I've got all my hiking gear with me.
Okay. You're going
Wearing-
straight there?
Straight there.
Straight from here to Las Vegas?
You got it.
Wow.
Yeah, we have
Man of the world.
yeah, we have quite a bit going on at SEMA this year. We've got a little Kia drift demo we're doing. We've got SEMA Ignited with some drift drivers that'll be doing demos as well, all in the gold lot. So we're looking forward to some of that.
I would like to head over. I've got to do things though. But,
Yeah, things to do.
Things to do.
Things to do.
Yeah, I got my Blundstone boots on.
Saw those.
Yeah.
I was jealous yesterday. My
They're
little
good.
Nike trainers on, they were getting all wet.
They're good Aussie. They're Aussie boots.
Aussie
You
boots.
get a bit of the Nick wax on them. It's the waterproofing
Yeah.
stuff on there. Beautiful.
All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Clean start.
By the way, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
There you go. I
Next
knew
battle.
National was in there.
Ishikawa versus Hiroshima. So Ishikawa in the lead.
Why he was carrying that wide? That
Carrying a
initiation.
lot of speed, very wide, the lead car, Ishikawa. Hiroshima taking advantage of that, catching up a little bit. Right on the limit of the lead car, Ishikawa. Hiroshima going very shallow there, a bit shallow on the angle. Trying to keep up with the lead car. Ishikawa doing a fairly good job. Transition back here, second inner clip. Fairly even run, this one.
So the lead car did go pretty wide on initiation, and you can tell that he ended up on the outside edge of the track before outside zone 1, and he ended up coming off the zone a little bit. You could tell that he kind of did the opposite, I guess. He was wide before it and then shallow after it. He should have been a little more shallow. You can see he dragged it way out here. That's way
very
wider.
wide.
And
Yeah.
look how quickly he's getting to that white line. At the beginning of the zone, he's actually coming off the line. So he was quite a bit off there. That could be really held against him because it's making it difficult for the chase car to then follow him through the rest of the course. He's not really filling the zones the way he should be in the lead position. The chase car did do a good job of reeling him in, though, without making any compromises. So he did a good job in the chase of doing what he was supposed to, despite being at a disadvantage right off the hop there, you know, right from outside zone 1. So we'll have to see what they do in the as they switch positions now.
So it might come down to this second battle to see who wins. Both of them making mistakes here and there. Overall good run, though, between the two of them. So this time it will be Hiroshima in the orange S15 leading. So if he can do a better entry to the first corner and get that first outer zone just right, that could be enough to get him the win if he can then continue the run similar to how it was before. But of course, Ishikawa on the left of screen there, S14 Sylvia. Can pull out some good runs now and again. We saw in practice and also qualifying practice and in qualifying.
Clean start, clean start.
Okay, good start between these two. So Hiroshima, he really needs to get this first corner just right. Okay, both cars entering nice and early.
Yeah, you can see how quickly he got off of that edge of the track.
Okay, this is a good run so far for the lead car. Great lead. Okay, this is set himself up very well. Hiroshima in the lead position. A little bit shallow in the angle though, lead car. Ishikawa being very aggressive, matching the line and angle of the lead car. Oh, will it be enough? I don't think it's going to be enough. Chase car, Ishikawa doing a good job keeping up with Hiroshima in the lead. And let's watch the replay now. Hiroshima, lead position, does, I think a better job for this entry than Ishikawa did. But the rest of the course, Ishikawa just doing really well to keep up with him.
You're right. So on initiation, does a little bit of a tire drop here, but leaves the outside edge of the track where you generally expect him to. It allows him to get into the outside zone 1 just a tad bit late, but fills it much better than Ishikawa did. He did have a hiccup there on transition. It wasn't smooth. He didn't get the car rotated quite right. Got out wide there. You could see Ishikawa had a little bit less angle going into outside zone 3, but matched it through the rest. Kind of maintained the proximity that he had halfway through the course through to the finish.
So now Ryan has to go and make a decision about who won that battle, along with the other two judges. Fairly difficult to judge that one. Nothing too amazing from either of those guys. Overall, good run from both of them. But yeah, that first corner, the difference on that first corner entry between the two of them, Ishikawa and Hiroshima, that may make the difference right there. We saw that Ishikawa did come in a lot cleaner. Hiroshima did come in a lot cleaner than Ishikawa did. For most of the course, Ishikawa's chase was just a bit more aggressive. Difficult one to judge. So left of screen, the orange.
Oh.
Sorry, we're going to have a one more time. So there you go. So 3 one more times.
Yeah, we all agreed on that one.
You all agreed.
Yeah.
Hiroshima versus Ishikawa. We're going to see them one more time. Quite a few one more times here today.
Yeah,
we've had 4. This is the 5th one so far.
So we were discussing it last night. What do you think is going to happen? How do you think the battles are going to go? And based on what we saw in qualifying, we kind of agreed that the possibility for one more time was there.
Yeah.
Errors, it's easy to make errors at the level we're asking them to drive at right now. And when you have multiple errors like that, it's hard to find a clear winner. So it seemed like it was destined to be this way due to the weather.
Yeah.
But we have seen some really high-level driving, some good driving. Hopefully that transfers over to 16, where we have the winners of all the battles there. Maybe we'll get some cleaner battles with less one more times. So we have the single wiper versus the dual wiper here. Different techniques, different setups.
Different schools of
thought.
Yeah. So lead run. So one more time, Ichinagi versus Murakami. So another very fast entry from both these guys. Whoa, we're going to see contact!
Yeah. And he managed to stay on the track. Look at that. Very nicely done from Ichinagi.
Ichinagi's like, huh, what?
Yeah.
And continues his run.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Like,
not bothered at all. Because remember, he does have to continue his run and complete it.
Right. At this point, getting hit by the lead or by the chase kind of throws maybe something into the into the whole, throws a bit of a wrench into the the typical way that we do this. Because he did get hit, you could say that he was affected pretty seriously by the chase. But
Yeah.
he made it through. He didn't make any errors or correct. Well, he made some corrections, but he didn't spin. He didn't straighten.
Here comes the replay.
Yeah.
So
Great
both
initiation.
very
right
hot.
on the edge.
Both
Beautiful.
of them very
And,
hot run.
Got a little bump right there. Came in a little, just slightly too hot.
Ichinagi's like, bye, and continues his run. Unfazed. Huge angle there, too. That's a bit of a straight in there.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
It's like, okay.
Yeah, you have to expect getting hit like that. It's going to throw your line off, your timing, everything gets thrown off from that point on.
Yeah,
You're trying to...
that's true.
Hey, I can get through the rest of the course, but then you notice that everything you're doing is a little bit further, a little bit later.
Let's look at this angle. So slowly catching up. Yeah.
Oh, tire to tire. Oh, some plastic
that was
flying there.
wheel to tire there, yeah.
Some bits of body work.
So obviously that means there is some debris on the track. We have to get that checked and cleaned up. Ichinagi, pretty cool there. Zero, not worried by that at all.
Okay. So we assessed fault to Murakami, the chase car there. Interesting thing about him right now is that he has already used his competition timeout.
Ooh.
So he does not have one to use.
Right.
Now, if there's no damage to his car and he can keep driving, that's fine, no problem. But if there is damage that Kevin deems to be too serious, such as a bent wheel or a debeated tire, not that I saw that, but if something like that had occurred, he wouldn't have a 5-minute or a competition timeout to fix it.
So he wouldn't be allowed to swap his wheel over?
No.
Due to the fact
because
he
was at fault.
He was at fault and he's already used his timeout.
Yeah.
So any sort of problems with the car, and that's not just him going, oh, my car's broken, I can't drive. It's Kevin Wells.
Who, he could say that on his own.
He could, of course, he could on his own.
Yeah, but it would be Kevin's ultimate decision at the end.
Say, no, your car's too dangerous to drive. We're not sending you out.
Yeah. We've had drivers in the past go, no, it's fine. I'll go drive it. It's good. It's cool.
You got 3 wheel nuts on, and yeah.
Interesting turn of events.
Okay.
Murakami.
Yes.
Is broken and does not have a competition timeout, as we just discussed.
Oh no!
So he has to forfeit, which means Ichinagi will complete the dreaded buy run.
So, Byron actually made it over this week.
He did
for this weekend. Okay.
Yeah, for 1 lap so far. Yeah.
1 lap. So Bai gets 1 run this weekend. Ichinagi in the 1 via. So 0 cares given in that getting hit there. Continuing his run. And he'll have to do 1 more run. Of course, to prove that his car is functional. Because if Murakami is going to retire due to mechanical issues, Ichinagi has to prove that his car can complete the run without issue.
Right.
In order to move on to the top 16.
So what do we have up next? I think maybe...
This is our 1 more time
between
Ishikawa and Hiroshima.
Ichinagi might need to repair his car a little bit, which he has the right to do because he was not at fault, and he doesn't have to use a competition timeout to do it.
Right, okay. So maybe just a bit of a check, because there was contact to the wheel.
Yeah.
Which can cause issues with bending suspension arms and so forth. I mean, he did complete the run. Didn't really seem to have any problem completing the rest of that run.
Right. We did see that over rotation over here. You could say, kind of a straighten. It's like, oh, maybe my car isn't 100%.
No,
so
he's come back onto the track, so there he is.
It might be fine. Yeah.
So Ichinagi is going to head over to the burnout box down there at the back of the straight, just heading around right there. So stopping there. So here he comes. Here comes Hiroshima. So this is our 1 more time between these two. Very evenly matched, it seems.
Yes.
Ishikawa, a bit more, slightly more reserved style, it seems, compared to Hiroshima. On average, over the course, seems to do a bit better. But Hiroshima, I guess, like his car in a way, a bit more flashy, a bit more aggressive, but a bit more prone to making mistakes, and not as aggressive on the transitions.
You're right.
It's just a case of, you know how they say dogs look like their owners? Sort of cars looking like the style that they drive they drive with.
It's an expression. The design, the style is an expression of their driving style as well.
That's why
maybe.
drifting is so cool.
Yep.
I guess though, when you get into like fully sponsored, cars, you don't really get to do that anymore.
Right. You have limitations at that point.
Yeah.
You have other considerations.
In which case you have to just show it with your driving.
Yes.
Which is good. All right, here we go. Second battle between these two. One more time. Ishikawa in the lead. So once again, Hiroshima slowly catching up but keeping it at a bit of a distance. This is a much better strategy this time from Hiroshima in the chase. And once again, not the best angle from the chase car.
Yeah, he poorly timed that transition.
Yeah, that was very late.
Yeah. That's wide.
Very wide.
Oh.
So, and a couple of mistakes from both these guys again.
Yeah.
The same part of the track. This is very similar to the first battle. So let's watch the replay. So this time, Hiroshima played that chase position much better than he did on his first run.
He did.
So up through the gears. Ishikawa in the lead. Let's watch the initiation here. So, yep, good initiation from both these guys. Very early to angle, holding that angle nice and cleanly. And watch this Hiroshima slowly creeping up.
Hiroshima's in the right spot. Looks
Yep.
good.
He's
But
set
right
himself up.
here,
Yeah,
look,
right
he's
here.
already bobbled there.
Yeah. Yeah, Hiroshima always weak in that center section.
Yeah. Nice
Lead
line
car, a bit
there
of a
from
wobble
Ishikawa.
there too.
Yeah, he did. But he had a nice line through outside zone 3.
Did. So once again, both these guys making fairly big mistakes on different parts of the track. These two guys very evenly matched, it seems. The winner of this will go up against Hinome in the top 16. Hinome in the red and black S15. So here they come, rotating around to the start line. So on the left of screen, we have the late model S14 Silvia, which has the more angular headlights. And on the right of screen, we have the S15 Silvia, the later model. Both originally 4-cylinder turbo SR25 speeds from factory. Right, here you go. Second battle now this time. Hiroshima in the lead. Ishikawa in the chase position, much closer than the first battle. Wow, very close chase from Ishikawa. Is he going to wash a bit wide here? No, he set himself up almost perfectly in the chase position. This is a great chase run from Ishikawa. What's the transition here? Now, this is Ishikawa's chance. Both these guys are quite weak in the second half of the track. If Ishikawa can just keep his distance to Hiroshima as close as possible. Oh, I think this might be a decision here. Great chase run from Ishikawa. It looked like he was going to make a mistake on that entry, but it turned out to be actually Hiroshima who made the mistake, and Ishikawa was perfectly positioned to take advantage of that.
It was really good.
That was a really good strategy there from the chase car, Ishikawa in the black S14 Silvia. Let's watch this.
Nice and close on initiation. He didn't give him any room, and I think that's really key.
Watch this right here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's running too wide? No, he's not. Just kidding.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
Right on the line. Did a good job. Watch his mimic here. Just slightly off. Pretty good. Same thing there. You can see that in the lead position, Hiroshima had low angle through inside clip 1, which is not ideal. Very difficult to chase that with good proximity unless you make the same type of low angle error through there, if you will. But I think that Ishikawa did a great job.
He did. I get the feeling that Ishikawa in the black Silvia S14 is going to get this battle. Of course, we have to wait for an official result. As you can see there, it's slightly, the rain has eased up a little bit more.
Yeah. You can barely see it in the puddles now.
Yeah, we've got these, you can see they've got these clouds hanging around in the background. We're at about 300 meters, I think, altitude here. So 1, 2, 3, Ishikawa, the black S14 Silvia, gets the win and will go through to the top 16. So a great result from that one more time battle. Both the drivers improving on their first runs, but Hiroshima.
So we have this bye run now from Yanagi, just to make sure that his car functions and can get over the line, and that will make it official that he will win that battle. And this will complete our top 32 once he's done his lap.
That's right. So let's just let's end the top 32 with a nice display run from Ichinagi. What happens if he spins out here?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's just the car works.
It's happened. We just kind of laugh about it and say, oh, he got a 0. He's done. Yeah, this is
So
just
here
to
we
prove
go.
the car works. Makes an effort.
Let's watch this angle. This is where Ichinagi really, look at this. Smooth angle. Oh, look at that.
He's doing a really good run right now.
Nice. That is a nice run.
Yeah.
Fairly
He's-
wide off that in clip,
he's
but
off the
yeah,
clip,
it's got nothing to prove here right now.
Exactly.
Oh, just
Nice and wide there.
nice and wide there. Easy. So, Kazuto Ichinagi from Zeke
Yeah, automatically gets that win.
automatically gets the win. The best kind of win.
Yes.
The automatic
The
win.
automatic win.
So that is our top 32 run and done.